on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Far End of the Bench podcast, episode 227. It's a big week. We got a big week. NBA playoffs started this week. Play-in tournament is early during the week. Now going to start on Saturday. NHL playoffs start on Saturday as well. Avs and Niko are playing Niko Rantanen and the Stars on Saturday as well. Oh yeah, and it's WrestleMania week, ladies and gentlemen. Myself will be in Vegas, enjoying the spectacles of the granddaddy of them all and one of the biggest spectacles in sports every single year. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see the 17 times, all I'll say. But my center attention this week, it's a little bit of a different topic, right? We don't really talk about much college football during the month of April, but unless it talks about the draft. But I think we have to bring this up. And if those that didn't know and didn't see things, Travis Hunter and Shooter Sanders are getting their jerseys retired by the Colorado Buffaloes. For those that live under a rock, yes, the Buffaloes did not win a bowl game under them. Yes, they did turn around from a 1-11 team to a team that obviously competed for a bowl game. And yes, Travis Hunter won a Heisman. The awareness of CU's athletic director, Rick George, is really, really painful to see. Because obviously, for those that don't know, Rasham Salim, who is the only other Heisman Trophy winner in Colorado football history, took 19 years to finally get his number retired. 19 years. I understand Travis Hunter get his number retired. I absolutely do. I 100% do. Is it a little early? I would assume yes. But when you talk about Shedeur Sanders, did he help bring this program around back? Yes, he did. He absolutely did. But in terms of does his jersey number 2 deserve to get retired the day he steps off campus and he's 1 week away from getting drafted in the NFL draft next week? I would say no. And obviously, look, if you change the Sanders on the back of that guy's name, on back of Shedeur's name, it's probably an entirely different story. It's an entirely different story. For those that don't know, number 9 is not retired at LSU for Joe Burrow, by the way. 15 isn't retired. Number 5 isn't retired for Texas Tech and Patrick Mahomes. 15 isn't retired in Florida with Tim Tebow. There's still Gators out there wearing number 15. And here we are a year later, and Shedeur Sanders has his jersey retired. Look, is he a damn good football player? Yes, he is. Is the questions and concerns about him being bigger than any NFL team he'll go to this upcoming season, upcoming draft? This fires the rumors up even to the maximum. Because if you had questions about, is this guy going to be bought into the team, right? Is he going to feel like he's bigger than the team? Well, the team that he just came from retired his jersey, and his family showed that, hey, we're bigger than the program. It sucks. It absolutely sucks because guys like Aaron Bieniemy and legends of Colorado football have still never got their jerseys retired. I understand Travis Hunter. He won a Heisman Trophy winner. He's one of only 2 guys in Colorado football history to win the Heisman Trophy. It's a huge, huge honor. And frankly, the 12 should never be worn by someone else. But when it comes to number 2, if it wasn't Deion's kid, are we really sure that the number would have got retired? That's what that shitty part about it is. He's a great player. It takes nothing against what he's done and the turnaround he did. But frankly, this is kind of dishonoring the people that passed for the Colorado football. And I think Joel Klatt said it best. It's like, look, Shedeur Sanders has enough baggage on him already. Everyone talks about him in this light sense of he's bigger than the team. He's not going to be a team player when he goes to the NFL. How are you going to have this guy lead a team in the NFL? Well, these rumors coming out a week before the draft are for a reason. And it absolutely sucks that this stigma is coming onto Shedeur's head during this time because he doesn't deserve that. So look, it's a huge honor for both of them to get their jersey retired. But frankly, it's a very, very poor way of them doing it. So that's what really sucks about it. But that's enough college football talk because I've had enough college football season. We'll talk about the draft next week. We got a lot of playoffs to talk and WrestleMania talk. So let's get into it.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is good to be back live with the people. This is where I feel like our show really starts to take off because we got playoffs now, so we will be doing this every single time that the Nuggets, Avalanche, as far as they go. We've done really long playoff streams. We've done really short playoff streams. We've done playoff streams against the teams that we're already going to be playing. So we'll have all of that coming up. Make sure that you subscribe. Head over to the new link, Podbean. You're going to have to research the far end of the bench, but hey, put our name back out there in the world. Search the far end of the bench, subscribe to the new link. You can get all the audio. YouTube is just the same, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Tune in live with us as we continue to see if we can get that elusive double championship. I guess I probably shouldn't have said it. I probably already ruined it, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just getting out of state testing, Niko, and I know you remember what that was like as a student. It's not much better as a teacher. We all sit there bored. I'm kind of sitting there like letting them do a little bit more than what I know they're supposed to do just to see what happens. It's like a nature documentary. I'm just watching to see what happens. Like one of the monkeys going to start flinging shit. Watch. And just, what is your life been like? How's Lax been treating you?
Well, I mean, it's good. It's obviously the Masters this past weekend was absolutely first class seats. Watching that end of Sunday, which is so much fun. And like I said, we've been alluding to it the past couple of months. Is like Wrestlemania season is upon us, and frankly, Wrestlemania is now three days away, and I will be in attendance again. Definitely on Sunday, depending on my flights on Saturday, whether or not I'll be there, and we'll see about that for Saturday. But I definitely will be there Sunday night. So I'm very excited, and like I said, it's. Going to Vegas is fun. It's a great time, but being there for the wrestling spectacle of it all and getting to nerd out is awesome. So I can't hate that this week is finally upon us.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm going to save it for when we're talking about WrestleMania, because this will be your second WrestleMania experience as somebody who's never had one. I got a few things, but we'll get to that when we talk about stories that are going to be playing out. Obviously, we both watched the Raw. SmackDown will be interesting. Raw ended on a segment, which the WrestleMania before, or the Raw before WrestleMania normally ends on a segment because they don't want everybody to get the shit kicked out of them before they have to go on and possibly perform 2 nights in a row this weekend. There's some cool things that are going to be happening. I'm about as excited for this WrestleMania as I was for the very first one I ever watched. I know you're different than me in that sense. The first WrestleMania I watched was the Seth Rollins cash-in. That was the first time that we had WWE Network and we're able to, like, my parents never bought the pay-per-views. We always kind of just watched the Raw after and figure out what happened from there. So I'm just as excited for this WrestleMania as I was for that one. And I'm hoping for something quite as probably more historic. Let's be honest, more historic.
I don't know if it's going to be as historic as last year's and as hyped up as last year's because of how much hype and how much excitement last year's had. But it's still going to be awesome. I think it's still going to be awesome. And like I said, this is my first WrestleMania watching it was 27, and everyone says arguably that's the worst of all time with the Miz and Cena being the final and the main event match being a count out, and then they restart the match and that whole shit storm.
To be fair, Miz smacked the back of his head on concrete, was severely concussed.
Exactly. So we've gone a long way from there, is all I'll say. And like I said, I've obviously grew up being a Cena fan, and like I said, being there for. It looks like all signs will be points to 17. Even if he doesn't win, it's still his last WrestleMania, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
well, there's some like we said, there's going to be some nostalgia there. This is the last of a generation. Then we'll get to see how WWE plays things out. Switching over to the other thing, so it's a good thing that Masters is the dessert to your March Madness. You have all of this college basketball. It's over now. You're bored. You're wondering what are you going to watch. You got the week of the Masters leading up to it. And the story this year, kind of like how it has been for a while, Rory's been a phenom since he was a teenager. So he's been there for a long time. This is his 11th chance to win a career Grand Slam at Augusta National. And he did it. By the luck of the Irish, he was able to get it done. Looking at his final scorecard, I don't think that you would have picked that as the winner. I think you would have saw that and said, why was he out there playing a professional tournament? Like, we should vet these things a little bit better. What's going on here? But no, it worked out, and Rory gets to wear the green jacket. You're a bigger golf person than I am, but I'm going to put this out there. I saw the entirety of the final round. Well, not the entirety. I watched 3/4, which for me is the entirety of the final round. But what did you see from the finals? What are some of your feelings about Rory this weekend winning his first winning the Grand Slam?
Well, I mean, it's for those that know, the career Grand Slam is people that won the U.S. Open, British Open, Masters, and I always
Isn't it the championship?
the players, I believe, are the 4, and only 6 golfers in history have ever done that. Only 6 golfers. The last one to do it, there's only been 2 guys since 1985 have done it. It's Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. That just shows how crazy of a stat this is. Like all the great golfers we've ever seen, that's never happened before. It's never happened before. But Phil never did it. Bubba never did it. AP
First
never did it.
European. He's the first European on that side of things too. So
yeah, exactly. It's such a historic feat. And what's crazy is like he really had to go through all this shit. And for those that don't know the history, like his first Masters, maybe not his first Masters, one of his first Masters in 2011, I believe it was. He was the leader going into that final day. He was up 4 strokes, -12 to a -8. I believe it was I can't remember. Maybe it's Sergio Perez. I can't remember who it was.
I think that sounds right.
That sounds about right.
I've been listening to shows that have been talking about this same story too.
He was up by 4 going to the final day, and frankly, it was like, okay, he was a young phenom, and like, can a young kid hold on? He had an absolutely disastrous final day. Or frankly, he hit the ball in the bushes, hit the ball in the water, and everything. And frankly, it wasn't much different than what happened on Sunday. But the difference between
you start off bogey.
Double bogey, and then Bryce comes back, and then all of a sudden you're tied after 1 hole, and you're like, oh boy, is Rory doing this again? Like he played that last round like his butthole was clenched as tight as it could, is all I'll say. Because if you look, I believe it was 13 when he hit it in the creek as well. You look at the I believe it was 5th, or you look at the putt on 18 that he didn't shank, but like he just misread the line.
And it was definitely in the mind that, you know, this as somebody who plays golf, it was in the mind fuck zone. It's not that long of a putt where it's difficult, but it's just short enough where you're like, I gotta focus, because if I don't
exactly.
focus,
and you can tell after the putt he sank to win it. Like you tell all the emotion rushing out. But like it was kind of crazy because you're watching the last round. I was like, Rory's kind of choking this way, but in the back of your head, you're all like, Bryson's out of this already too. Like hit on that A-bend corner between 10, 11, 12, and 13. He just absolutely fell apart. Double bogey, single bogey, double bogey, and that got him completely out of the race. He was basically just Rory's partner on the side after that, and it was just to see if Rory can hold on. And then all of a sudden, 3 holes ahead of them, Justin Rose makes a miraculous ending to the round with three birdies and gets within the reach and puts the pressure on Rory. And like I said, a guy that finished 25, 30 minutes early in Justin Rose than when Rory finished his round, to have that whereabouts of, you know what, I'm just going to give him a run for money, making pressure on him so that way I have a chance. And he had a chance. And Justin Rose.
I think that's the third time.
It is the second,
right?
It is the second. The last 2 playoffs at the Masters that happened have involved Justin Rose, and he's lost both of them, which is horrible for the poor guy.
Some of those shots, I just can't. I was watching with Carly, and I was like, I can't tell you how. I can't promise myself I'm going to hit the golf ball. These guys can promise themselves that they're going to hit it and curve it around the trees. And shout out to the hurricane season that took out some of the difficulty because there wasn't that many turns as there usually is at Augusta. But no, it's incredible what they're able to do because,
awesome.
You know, that last playoff hole, Rory sits it where he knows it's going to roll up 2 feet and then roll back 6, and he's going to have a fairly easy putt. Like, give yourself an easier putt than you had to push it to a playoff.
Well, I mean, the reason why he was in that playoff was because his second the second shot after the tee shot went straight into the bunker, and then after that bunker shot, he had to chip it back in to try to par, or he had 1 putt to par it, and that put the pressure even on him further. So he learned from his lesson literally 15 minutes, 20 minutes earlier, and just realized, okay, by all means, fade the sand, right? Use the back of the green that with the greens in Augusta are how fast they are. Is like he used it to his absolute perfect sense, and like I said, it's such a cool feeling as since Rory. It's like I said, it's 14 years in the making. It's not just 11 years in the making. It's 14 years in the making when he first had his first ever shot at the Masters. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, his family there was awesome. You can see the emotion in his eyes because, like I said, it's the Masters is the golf tournament that everybody obviously just portrays as the biggest golf tournament in the world, right? Like obviously there's bigger quote unquote things that affect the golfer's standing, whether it be the PGA, the US Open, the British Open, whatever it may be, like the players, like there's other things out there that obviously lead to the legacy of a golfer, an individual golfer. But it's like when it's it is golf is maybe the loneliest sport you'll ever play. I put that out there because there's so many other sports and frankly a lot of other individual sports that there is a team around you more. There is no one affecting that shot other than you when you're out there. It is you, the golf ball, and the course. Tennis, it's you facing another person, right? You battle against another person. You're seeing how they battle against you, right? Other individual sports, swimming, you're racing against another person, right? Golf, it's you versus the course and this little white round ball and trying to get into a hole. Can be the loneliest sport possible, and the weight of the moment of when he won and how much relief he had. You saw him fall to his knees. Like it's such a beautiful moment because it's something that frankly all the greats have done, and it was finally Rory's time. So congrats to Rory.
Do you think that this is going to be the start of a run for Rory McIlroy? Because that was kind of like, we see this a lot. Athletes chase something and they finally achieve it, and then it propels them. Now the weight is taken off. They can do this whenever they want to. Are we going to see Rory McIlroy win 4 more majors in the next 2 years? What are you thinking from him now that he's accomplished this?
He's on the back stretch of his career, obviously late 30s, and frankly, like he's a great golfer, still top of the leaderboard, but he's never been really around that top echelon. The last couple of years, it's frankly had people pass him up, like the Dustin Johnsons of the world in late 2010s, and obviously the
Scotty Scheffler,
of the world, who's the world number 1 for a reason. Like he's always going to be around the top 10 and frankly the top 5. And I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to golf year round to be able to tell you how many more majors he's going to win or how many more Grand Slams or whatever happens for him. But I will say it's like this one championship with the Masters put him in the GOAT conversation. And it's a conversation that frankly he's the best golfer of this generation. It's wild thing that Tiger Woods was the best golfer last year's generation. This generation's or obviously Rory, and he's done an incredible job. Like I said, the difference between the third career Grand Slam and the fourth one was 11 years. By the way, he won that US, or I believe it was the PGA in 2014. Obviously, we're in 2025, and that's why everyone said the 11-year wait is over for the career Grand Slam. Frankly, it's been 14, obviously, since he lost that first one. But like I said, 11 years is a crazy difference. And for guys to be able to do that, it's awesome. So, like I said, he's one of the faces of golf for the reason. And I know some people hate him for all the stuff he says about LIV and about that whole situation and how he thinks he's better than everybody else for staying on the PGA and not taking the money and blah, blah, blah. Like everyone in golf was rooting for him at that point. They were all like, please don't choke this. Please don't choke this. Please don't choke this. So it was awesome.
Shout out to our guys, Ohio Sports Talk. We're going to get into all the breakdowns of the NHL playoff matchups, make our picks for the first round. Blue Jackets did make a run, so it might be in our conversation. Anything else to say about the Masters? Obviously, it's a tradition unlike any other. It's where our title for this week's episode comes from. Anything else on this year's event before we move on into the carnival that's going to be at Sin City?
I mean, golf is, like I said, it's grown so much, and I think with I really saw it after the Netflix documentary of the Formula One show, and then seeing how much that took off, and now obviously they have the golf show as well, where I watched both, and it really personated the golfers a lot, and it's really made you like certain guys, obviously dislike some certain guys, and I think that's nothing but great things for golf. So it's only going to keep growing.
All right. Well, at WrestleMania 41, we have our 2-night event. I'll say we'll make predictions. We're not going to talk about everything. Some of it will just be like pick a winner when I tell you who's on what side. Let's start off with our in-depth analysis. I don't want to start off with Cena and Cody. That's going to be the main event for Sunday. Let's start off with the main event for Saturday. It's what closed out Monday Night Raw this past week. Reigns, Rollins, and CM Punk with Paul Heyman in the middle. They're telling like the most epic, dramatic, beautiful cheating storyline through 4 grown men that like there's a lot of testosterone and estrogen in this feud, and I don't know why. No, I do think that this one, I like the little. It's dark, not dark. It's like heavy because you're seeing relationships of a lot of years come back into play and be taken down. But they have like those small moments. This past week when he sits down, it's like, look at my eyes. What do you see? Cult of personality.
It's just stupid stuff like that. That is just a wrestling within the wrestling that you don't understand. That some people don't understand the funny jokes and why it's so great. It's like all three of these stories are tied with one another. It's not just Roman and Seth Rollins that hate each other. It's not just Seth Rollins and CM Punk that hate each other. It's now all three that just hate the living shit out of each other. It's pure bliss. It's absolutely pure bliss, and that's why like. I understand the Jey Uso Yeet thing and how exciting that is and why they should have made an eventer. Or what about Bianca, Rhea, and Io being a main eventer? These are the three biggest faces not named John Cena and Cody Rhodes in wrestling.
Yeah.
In wrestling, across the globe. Across the globe.
They set up why it's these three guys. Like I feel like it makes sense because these are three main stars. But Rollins' promo last night set up the reason why it's these three guys. Punk wants to win so that it could be the era of CM Punk that we never got as him as a face champion. Reigns has been the guy for the last decade, and Rollins thinks that he's the one that's saving professional wrestling. It's a story that they've told countless times before. But now it's who's going to lead the next generation because John Cena is retiring and Cody Rhodes is the champion. We're going to need somebody else to be there because if it's one guy, we saw what happened with John Cena. There wasn't always great years. So like this is a much more important, monumental, impactful match. And it's a situation where it's three guys that at their own ways and own levels have been top guys. And now they're fighting it out to see who's going to get back to that. It's what everybody wants to see. It's why they have relegation in European football. They want to see a Shark Tank. They want to see you bite somebody's leg off. Like that's what sports are about.
It's just like it's the perfect story to tell. And like for those that are going to go into Sunday thinking like, oh, it's just a triple threat match. What are we going to see? It's like this is a blood feud. For those that don't know in wrestling terms, blood feud means that everyone hates each other to their core, to their absolute core, for various different reasons. Obviously, Roman hates Punk for stealing Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins hates Punk for stealing for stealing the limelight when coming back. Seth Rollins hates Roman Reigns and vice versa because of everything with the Shield. CM Punk hates Seth Rollins because he's trying to take everything he worked for away. He hates Roman Reigns for not taking care of his wise man. It's all one big happy circle that just goes round and round and round. And like I said, it doesn't really matter who wins this match. It's frankly the stories that are built off of this because, like you said, the fact that obviously, the fact this company has been carried on Roman Reigns' shoulders ever since John Cena became a part-timer. Okay, that's not denying it in the slightest. CM Punk is the second city saint for a reason because he came back and frankly, when no one thought of that. And Seth Rollins may be the Shawn Michaels of this era, where frankly he was just the man every single week. Yeah. He'd do anything you want.
And anything you put in front of him, he's like, "This is yes, gold. Thank you."
Exactly. He'll do whatever he asks for, and frankly, may not even get the love in the long run that he deserves because of how great he was for so many years. And like I said, it's such a fun storyline because the three of these guys, the triple threat match, it's not going to be just a wrestling match. For those who don't know, triple threat matches are no disqualification. They automatically get thrown in there. So it's going to be blood. It's going to be the chair shot to the back multiple times to reminisce on the Shield days. It's going to be CM Punk putting probably a chain around Roman's neck and yelling at Paul Heyman to make sure he helps him. It's going to be all that and the other thing, and I couldn't be more excited. It's such a fun match and fun fight feel.
I want to go. Let's go to the other multiple. They have the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. 2 members of the Judgment Day. Braun Breaker, the badass. That is the greatest spear of all fucking time.
And then he followed up with a double spear the next week, and I'm just like, this guy can't do nothing wrong. He can't do nothing wrong.
Niko, they have to put him in a match with 3 other guys just to make it seem like he could lose.
Could lose, yeah.
And it still doesn't seem like he's losing.
This match has 2 of my favorite wrestlers right now in the world, and Penta, and obviously in Braun Breaker. Like I chop at the bits to see those two just go at it every single night. Like
and don't sleep on Finn Balor.
I know that I'll get to that in a moment, but like the whole storyline of Penta and how he came in and getting that WrestleMania moment with being a triple threat or bringing a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship, which is one of the most prestigious championships in all of wrestling, still is to this day. And having Braun Baker, who frankly, like he will surpass his dad in terms of all-time greatness. That's how great of the path trajectory he's on. And then you throw in the Weasel of Dirty Dominic Mysterio in there. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if he walks out of WrestleMania with it. Because look, there's a thing they've been teasing. Look, pin Balor, as they're calling him, because he'll take the pin. We all know he'll take the pin, okay? That's not even the slightest. Braun won't take the pin. Penta's not taking the pin. Dom probably has the best chance of getting pinned, but he frankly might win. So it's going to be Pin Balor again. So that you can almost put your money on that. But this whole storyline of the Judgment Day having another guy. What if Aleister Black walks out and helps Dominic Mysterio win?
Is he out of AEW?
The vignettes shown on SmackDown have been for him.
I'll be honest with you. I've been watching exclusively Raw. I have.
Well, I'm the nerd that watches SmackDown, but like
it's not that you're a nerd. I've been.
Rusev is also walking back through those doors, which has been confirmed that he signed. Aleister Black has signed, which could throw a lot of other fun turns into this. I think Dominic Mysterio is going to walk away with the championship. I find it so dirty, but frankly, and what other way at this point in Dominic Mysterio's career is he going to win a championship? In the slimiest, most obscure way possible, with screwing over somebody and winning the championship. It is the perfect time to give Dirty Dom the Intercontinental Championship, just like his daddy Eddie Guerrero. It is the perfect scenario.
Viva la raza! I lie, cheat, I steal my way to a championship. I have a couple of different quote experts on the internet pulled up. So far, they've had Rollins winning the triple threat. We'll talk about our predictions. We'll go rapid fire with those ones at the end of the segment. Right now, it looks like they have Breaker retaining, but it's something weird within the Judgment Day.
I'll be honest with you. I hate the dirt sheets. Because stop taking the fun out of it. I'll be honest with you. You can make predictions. Absolutely. If you're on the dirt sheets and want to spoil us, everybody go fuck off. That's my 2 cents on it. I understand it's scripted. Okay? I understand it. I understand I have no true I can't yell like I can yell at a Nuggets playoff game and try to deter the outcome of a free throw. I know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it's already determined what's going to happen. All right? So dirt sheets need to shut the fuck up and stop spoiling returns. Stop spoiling crazy things happen. The shockness of the gong hitting last WrestleMania Sunday is the pure bliss of wrestling when you don't know what the fuck's going on. That getting him hidden under the gong hitting, him coming out, that's what wrestling should be all about, and not telling us exactly what's going to happen. So if you're a dirt sheet guy out there, fuck off.
All right. I hope they jump into our comments because they like to exercise their fingers there a little bit. Two matches that don't really have a story, but it doesn't really seem to matter. AJ Styles, Logan Paul, and then we also have the Sin City street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Either of those two get your juices going a little bit?
Well, Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest gets my juices flowing. I've loved everything Drew McIntyre has been showing. Like the brutality, the I'm getting screwed over and over again, and I can't. The man is against me. I think it's so good. I think Drew. I am hoping we get a Drew versus Cena scenario, or maybe a Drew versus Jey Uso scenario, where after he wins the championship, like where he's just going after him and he can get back to the tip of the top again. Because he's such an entertaining guy. And like I said, there's no slight to Damian Priest. He's done a great job with character work and really building himself consistently. But Drew McIntyre is a different level above everybody else right now.
I feel like Damian Priest is now at a point where he just is able to be really good without a faction, because for a long time he was a dominant member of the Judgment Day, but he wasn't like the leader. He needed the group, and now he doesn't. Him and Rhea have both been able to go on and be really successful outside of things. I like the Logan Paul matchup with AJ Styles just because I know that it's going to be a cool one to watch. I know that there's no storyline with it, but it seems like he's still learning, and we'll see something new.
It's
I
going
want
to
to
be
see
a
what,
great rap wrestle match. There's going to be a great rap.
and there's going to be a moment that goes 45
Viral
billion
moment,
views viral because he's done that every single time that he's competed at WrestleMania.
Who's
so,
Jimmy? Who's in the prime battle this year? Who is it?
It was.
I got a great.
They already had iShow Speed get speared.
and they've already had KSI. Not KSI.
Yeah.
Yeah, KSI is the other one. So
It's not going to be his brother because they're trying to work out.
I know. I think I know who it is, and I'll give you my reason. But I want to see who I think who you think it'll be.
Benny Blanco. I don't know.
Mr. Beast.
Mr.
It's going
Beast.
to be Mr. Beast. First of all, obviously, all the ties, Prime and Lunchley or whatever it's called, ties there. Mr. Beast, for those that don't know, I've seen it all over Twitter and TikTok. Apparently, Mr. Beast has a hotel that's all right now in Vegas, rented out to him. It's a whole Mr. Beast type of thing in one of the hotels down there, which a lot of people aren't very happy about. So he's there currently. So all that means is he's going to be walking down. I would almost bet my hard-earned cash that Mr. Beast is in that costume on Saturday. Whether or not he can take a bump, we'll see. But it's going to have to be something crazy.
I didn't know that's probably something we can even bet on. So we might need to look at that. Triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. We'll go to the WWE Women's World Champion or WWE Championship for the women's division next. But this is Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Belair earned the title shot. Ripley has complained her way into it. I don't really care because these are three really damn good performers, and this match is going to be epic. Like, you can't sit there and tell me that this match isn't going to be entertaining. I guess it's like it seems a little bit Teddy Long. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you guys are all three out here. Throw you in a match.
Yeah.
Let's go. Triple threat, tag team, triple threat, tag team.
If someone's complaining, it's like you're only one-on-one with the Undertaker. But you know what? Someone's complaining, so you're going to go to one-on-one with Rhea Ripley also. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Well, it'll be. It's fun because they all have different styles and obviously different characters, but like Io is undefeated against Rhea, so there's the chance, like, are they going to tease her finally defeating that, or is Bianca going to get screwed over and turn heel? I feel like there's something brewing with Bianca because of that whole Jade Cargill and Naomi situation from Elimination Chamber. Like, she went way over the top with her reaction. Like, I feel like they had to tell her to do that to set up something post WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, that helped a lot with building the Naomi and Jade storyline. So that's why she kind of did it that way.
But I feel like there's got to be something for her too, because she's really big in the women's.
Well, I'll tell you one of the big things for her and why. I mean, I'm not giving my prediction yet, but she's undefeated at WrestleMania, and I think she's 4-0, I believe, maybe 5-0 now.
5-0,
5-0, and a chance of 6-0. And frankly, like, those that grew up like you and I did around this wrestling and around the late early 20s 20 to 30 WrestleMania, 30 to 40, there's always Undertaker of the streak, and that's son of a bitch that never got broken until it got broken. And frankly, I think they could do that with Bianca, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest because she's a bigger life character and everything. But I will say, Io has grown so much on me and how exciting and how much fun she is, and the way she wrestles and that Japanese style wrestling and how good she is. Like, in the ring, it's been awesome to watch. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Rhea and Bianca mess it up and Io just sneaks in and gets a win. There's a lot of fun storytelling. It's three of the biggest. Not three of it's two of the biggest women's wrestlers in the world right now, and Rhea and Bianca, and then obviously Io Sky, who's basically a perennial main eventer now consistently, and that's the level she's on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so exciting.
When you have somebody that's good enough in the ring to not need to speak English in your promos, then you know you're doing something right. Yeah. Real quickly before we go to the WWE Women's Championship, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Gracias! Gracias! I love this. This may be my favorite story going on right now.
Chad Gable, and we talked about
so
Rollins
good.
being
It's
able
so
to take
good.
whatever and make it good. Chad Gable has been able to take shoosh.
It's so good. It's so good. I look, take away the whole political side of this and the Gulf of America thing aside from this and the disrespecting of the luchador mask. Rey Mysterio would have never signed off on this shit if he felt this was disrespectful. Okay? Rey Mysterio would have never signed up for this match and been like, give them a go ahead to not have a fun storyline with this. It's so good. I love it. The gracias, the everyone thinking that it's actually Omos underneath there as the luchador or Mark Henry, and be like, actually, no, it's a better chance it's Omos than Chad Gable. And then the slip of Chad Gable's tattoo on his back with the All-American or the All-American
Wrestling
thing getting
That's
shown
a pretty fucking dead giveaway.
but hey, it's still not him. Not him. I don't think it's him.
Grande could have got it in henna just to make it.
Exactly, just to show, just to flow people off. That's what Americano did it. For those that don't know, I love my coffee El Grande Americano from Starbucks anyways. But yeah, it's so good. I love every second of it. It's one of the I love his entrance music because it's fucking hilarious. It sounds like a fucking carnival music. It's everything about it. I am addicted to it. I hope they keep this character going. I hope they do. I hope they do, where they just like, you know what? Fuck Chad Gable. This is the new guy. And just let him El Grande Americano ride. It's so good. And like I said, Rey Mysterio is probably going to win this match. And he'd probably take the mask off and it'll be Chad Gable. But frankly, I am so thrilled because I know it's going to be a banger of a match because how good Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio at age 55 is. Because Ray cannot put on a bad match nowadays, frankly, which is crazy to think about. But I love every second of it. I don't know what it is. These luchadors, they've got a hold on me. Ray Phoenix now got a hold on me. Penta, El Grande Americano, Ray, like it's something about it. I don't know what it is. It's something about it. There's a good chance I walk up to one of the WrestleMania nights with the luchador mask on and wear it the whole time is all I'll say, because that's how much I've been invested into it. So it's amazing.
It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. One cool thing about that storyline also, Julius Creed, former teammate of a guy that we both went to high school with, You know who I'm talking about?
Fine Silvers.
Yeah, at Duke. He was the heavyweight there for 4 years. I think he's a 2-time All-American with both Zach and Mitch and Matt and Josh. So Julius Creed.
Great. They're great, man. The Creeds are awesome. This American made is, like I said, after the whole White Six thing and we got past that, they've really been on a tear. They're so good. And I hope they get the push they need.
All right, WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This one went a little bit off the bedpost. You know what I mean? And here's the funny thing. Nobody believed it. Everybody was like, bullshit. Ludwig would never.
That's the one person who's been accused of cheating and be like, nope, he definitely did not. Many men have been accused of cheating in their lives. And that's the one person like, nope, absolutely not. No shot in no world. Sorry, Carol. There's no way.
Tiffany was over there chuckling in the corner like, yeah, right.
That's a good joke. It's a good joke. These two, I think, actual women or these two actual people, and I'm not going to say their real names because I don't think you should call them by their real names, especially when we talked about them in wrestling. They hate each other, I think. But I think both of their egos are way too big for this match not to be a banger. I think it's going to be so good. I really do. I think they hate each other so much that it's going to be a blood feud, and frankly, they're just going to beat the living crap out of each other. And for those who don't know, Charlotte's last WrestleMania match against Rhea Ripley, it was not very hyped up. It was kind of just like they hate each other for no reason. Here we are, and it was the best match, one of the best matches of WrestleMania 39. And now I think we have a similar situation here where Tiffy can't do no wrong. Everyone's behind her, obviously. I don't know why WWE ever thought that Charlotte Flair could ever be a babyface because she'll never be that ever again in her life. But it works so perfectly with these two, and frankly, I think it's fair game. I think it was fair game after Charlotte tried to rattle Tiffany on live television when she tried to rattle her promo and make fun of her. He's like, all right, you know, fair game. You're 0-3 in marriages. Like, what? I'm sorry, what? He said, where did that come from? Whoa. And this is literally a week after that the news got broken that Andrade and her split up, and I'm like, hold on a second, we're doing this already? It's amazing. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I was just watching Vanderpump Rules upstairs with Roxy, and I don't see any differences between WWE and Vanderpump Rules right now. There's just a drink being thrown instead of a contract being signed. World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso versus Gunter. Gunter kicked off Raw. Tried to, he made a solid heel promo. He got people to boo him the way that he's supposed to as the big bad European heel. Doesn't matter what he says, you're gonna boo him because he has an accent. It's I would say that in the Vince McMahon voice, but I don't want to be canceled. But Jey, I liked his promo. It could have been better. It could have been better.
He has made me cared about this match more than when he after he won the Rumble and when it got announced. They've made me care. Obviously, bringing Jimmy into it and Gunther doing that. Gunther is obviously one of my favorite workers too right now. But frankly, like
General.
But like, look, I understand that maybe Jey Uso is not the best in the ring. That's how I think. There have been thousands of wrestlers that have lived off of a fucking promo, and that's their entire shtick the rest of their career, and that's what they were. Let's not sugarcoat things, okay? Stone Cold Steve Austin, what was he before Austin 316?
Stunning Steve Austin.
Exactly. No one fucking remembers that. Once he did this, Austin. I know you do, but not many people remember that.
Part of the Hollywood Blondes with Flying Brian Pillman.
Once the Austin 316 dropped, he became one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all time, and that is no slight to him. He, frankly, is not one of the greatest in-ring workers, but he's still one of the greats for a reason. Okay, you look at LA Knight. Yeah, you don't think the yeah goes into anything? Everyone yelling yeah every time. I remember walking into WrestleMania last year, night 2, and everyone just yelling yeah or crossing the sidewalk, and I was like, oh my god, where am I? I was like everyone like yeah, and then yeet, and then yeah, and then yeet. I'm like, oh my god, this is heaven. This is crazy. He's a one-liner merchant because he's good on the mic too, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at the history of wrestling, it's like if you don't have the whole package, you cannot be the top of the top. Right? If you can't work on the mic, if you don't have crowd work, if you don't know how to put on a good match, you won't ever be the top of the top. And frankly, Jey Uso's missing that one thing that's that exciting singles match. Because we know he has those exciting the tag team matches. It's that exciting single match that we were just clawing to, that we're wanting for. And frankly, like I said, you have to see it to believe it. And frankly, you give him the championship. If he fails, he fails. And then everyone's right how he's not a main event guy. If he doesn't, you have the biggest star in wrestling, one of the biggest stars in wrestling, and one of the most over guys in the history of wrestling on top of your company. And that's huge to see.
All right, let's talk about this WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. The Rock obviously got John Cena to sell his soul. They've been back and forth on the mic. Cody lays out John Cena. They've obviously set up what I want people to know going into this. Obviously, they've set up this is not Super Cena. He will not be walking through physically 10 different guys. He is now heel Cena, so he will be using his brains and his smarts. And they've been showing that through his promos, if you pay attention. He uses big words. He does not punch down. He doesn't make dick jokes. He doesn't cuss. He's like trying to make sure that you listen and understand what he's saying. So they're going with that. So physically, Cody has every advantage and should just beat the living shit out of this old-ass, balding, pale white man. This is still John Cena that we're talking about, though. And who has more ring IQ than Jort's Superman himself?
It's like he's been there, done that, won everything he ever could, and frankly, now he's just chasing GOAT status. That's the scariest thing possible. Is like he's not chasing just another accolade. He's not just chasing another championship run because he doesn't need another championship run. He's chasing the GOAT status of being the greatest of all time and, frankly, the undisputed greatest of all time once he wins this, because it's not if, it's when he wins it, frankly. And we all know that. Man, look, I've been going back and forth. I'm like, who's going to win this? What's the story tell after this? And John Cena will be winning 17. I almost can all but guarantee it because there's no WrestleMania next year for him. There's not. We are hold on. 1, 2, 3. We are 8 months away from John Cena being fully retired as a professional wrestler. 8 months away. Time is now, as to use a line from John Cena. The time is now. Okay. The feuds you could set up with John Cena being the bad guy and the ultimate heel. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes chasing him back. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, possibly. All those guys are baby faces. There's no big bad heel currently in the company. There's not. John Cena is that big bad heel. And what is the big? There always has to be, and not always, but when wrestling is at its best, there is a big bad heel that everyone's trying to chase after. It doesn't have to be the champion, but it has to be the big bad guy consistently. It was the Authority when we were little. It was obviously The Rock. It was Stone Cold. It was Vince McMahon. It was whoever you want to insert there, right? It was multiple people. And John Cena has to be that big bad guy where guys just go after and trying to get to him. And like I said, Cody's run as champion has been great. It's been awesome. But let's not sugarcoat it. The build up to him chasing it has been better than the build up of him being it. And that's no slight to him. It's because everybody's been waiting on the Rock and waiting on the Rock. And frankly, it's been the Rock's fault. Why the Kevin Owens thing got shushed over? Why the AJ Styles feud got hushed over? Why Solo Sikoa feud got hushed over? Why he faced in fucking War Games for no fucking reason, right? That's not his fault. It's frankly been the booking decisions of the Rock and everyone waiting on the Rock. And now we are in a situation where John Cena is here, and we have this great story of pulling the trigger on him. You do not pull the trigger of John Cena being a heel, the most shocking move in wrestling, and not give him the championship is all I'll say.
I feel like we know where you're going to go, but let's get into our predictions so that we can wrap this thing
I want
up.
to give everything because I got something about everything. We can make it quick with some of these matches. But also, hold on. Before we even get to that, 2 matches that I think will be added. Randy Orton versus Solo, which everything points to that, or / Nick Aldis. Obviously, I would love to see Randy win. I think it's going to be.
Has Nick Aldis ever wrestled?
He's a longtime TNA wrestler, multi-time
TNA
champion, multi-time TNA champion for a lot of years. So he's wrestled. He just had injuries, and that's why he took that step back. Not career-ending, but he was a big-time indie wrestler. So if those who have never seen, he was actually in.
I'll have to look it up because I was not sure.
He was a big-time TNA wrestler and Impact in all those days. So he has wrestling background. So that wouldn't be surprising. So that's a possibility of that match happening. I think Randy wins that. Even if it's versus Solo Sikoa, I think it's Randy winning that anyways. And then the other match, I'm almost all but guaranteeing that we'll have a 6-8-man ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Street Profits. It's going to be machine gun, mostly machine guns. It's going to be pretty deadly. It's going to be Gargano and Ciampa, and it's going to be The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. And that is going to be absolutely cinema. Because anyone that knows anything about tag team TLC matches at WrestleMania, they don't fucking miss. They do not. And it's going to be, I hope that they throw that on the card because the SmackDown Tag Team division has been so good. So I hope that they get their chance on WrestleMania because it's been so good. Better than the Raw Tag Team Championships or the WWE, not the World Tag Team Championship. So they deserve their shot. So I hope both those matches get added. So those are the 2 that I expect to get added.
Well, looking at the card, one of the pre-show matches, World Tag Team Championships, the War Raiders versus the New Day. I don't know how you feel about the heel turn. I like the War Raiders. I think that they're good in the ring. I really don't care about New Day. I never really liked New Day when they were heels. They had a few good matches with the Usos. I never liked them when they were faces. The Pudios, the bright colors. I like Big E, and I kind of like Kofi. But that was it. The New Day has never done it.
They've done just a poor job booking this tag team, and frankly, like I said, they pulled the trigger on the New Day heel turn back in December, and we're in April, and they're finally paying this off. That's the shitty part about this. So I don't really understand that. The War Raiders are going to put on a good match. They're exciting to watch. People are saying that the reason why this is on WrestleMania is because this is Big E's return, and frankly, he'll go after them, and this is where the big reveal is. There's nothing that points to that. It may be one of the most random returns ever with no backstory and frankly no love to this tag team match. But I mean, I expect the New Day to come out on top and win tag team gold again because frankly, there's a lot more things that they can do with the heel New Day team against baby faces, especially in the Raw tag team division.
Yeah, I think the New Day with the pedigree that they have, I feel like they'll go that way. But they'll use them to make War Raiders look good. I mean, that's basically what they've been doing so far is make sure that everybody knows the War Raiders can wrestle. But we'll give you back the titles when the time is right. Other pre-show match going to be taking place, United States Championship match, LA
That's the
Night.
pre-show?
Well, it's just in the pre-show section of this article that I'm looking at. I don't know the order of the matches. I'm just going in the order of these things. U.S. Championship match, LA Knight, versus the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Can LA Knight pull this off?
No, I love LA Knight, but no, he will not. Jacob Fatu will run through him, and it's going to be.
We're about to have 2 unstoppable beasts as the mid-card champions.
It is going to set up Fatu versus Sikoa, Fatu versus Jimmy Uso. It's going to set up Fatu versus Tangaloa and Tamatanga. It's all there, and Fatu being the new big bad guy of that team. So Fatu is going to run through him. I'm sorry, I like LA Knight as much as the next guy, but LA Not this weekend. Not this weekend.
No.
No.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi. What do we think?
This is one of the most slept on matches in my opinion because Naomi's heel work has been so good since she turned. I think it's been incredible all the heel work she's done and her new caution character with all the caution tape and the straight edge side, or not the straight edge, but the bad girl side of things. I think it's been great. Naomi, frankly, is a person that is going to step into the world title picture after this and make a lot of noise. Jade needs this win. I think Jade versus Charlotte Flair is the feud after WrestleMania. Once Charlotte wins the championship and Jade wins this, I think that's the feud everyone's looking at, being like the two biggest, strongest women in wrestling right now. And having them face off each other is going to be fantastic. So I think that's the way they're going. So I'll take Jade.
I'm not sure about that one because I don't watch SmackDown as much as you do. So I'll leave you at that one. I'll say Naomi maybe. See if they're gonna put a title run back on her. Mysterio, Grande Americano.
It's Rey Mysterio. I really want El Grande Americano, gracias, and him to throw it up, but it's gonna be Rey Mysterio. And he'll take the mask off. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't make this a mask for mask because that was the big worry. It's like, well, obviously you know who's going to win then because they'll not take Ray's mask off unless he's retiring. So it could go either way, to be honest with you. But I think Ray will win and unveil the mask, and it'll be Chad Gable, or maybe it's Rusev underneath there actually, and he just bulked down a little bit. So I don't know. I'll take Ray.
Grande Americano was cut up. Jesus, whew. He's not missing many gym days and many sauna days. Let's just put it that way. I think that I want him to give Chad Gable something good.
Grande Americano. Chad Gable's not wrestling at this year's WrestleMania.
Why isn't he in the corner then, Niko?
Because he has other obligations. He's very sick. Okay, he wasn't feeling very well. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
You see, I feel the same way. Like you get that USA Wrestling tattoo because you earn it, and Grande Americano didn't earn it. So.
He earned it in Mexico. He beat an American wrestler in Mexico, and they gave him a tattoo as an honor. And then Chad Gable.
That would make more sense if all of the guys that can't make the USA Wrestling team didn't go down to qualify for the Olympics in Mexico. But yeah, no, Americano wins, beats Mysterio, and the old guy gets an ass whooping on the way out. I showed Carly Rey Mysterio without a mask yesterday. She's like, "What does he look like without the mask?"
It'll change your life. I remember the first time we all remember the first time we saw Rey Mysterio without a mask and how dirty we felt. I was like, "Is this legal to be on the internet?"
They were trying to make him like some hood gangster, and he looked like 10.
10, yeah, he looks like he was 5 years old.
I got all the honeys coming up on me.
Yeah, he looks way better at the mask, is all I'll say. Okay, the legend will never die.
We also did watch the Halloween Havoc match, so she saw what he used to be able to do in his 20s, and she was impressed. It was a good day.
Ain't no El Grande Americano. That's all I'll say.
No,
Legend of Mexico.
He's got a nice moonsault. It's Gable-esque, that moonsault.
We don't know if it's Chad Gable. It could be.
I know. I'm just saying. I feel like he's watched a few matches and picked up. He's just that good, that solid of an athlete. He can watch and learn.
It could be Christian Cage underneath there. Is all I'm going to say. You never know. Could be somebody else. We don't know. Okay, we don't know.
Fuck yourself. Yeah, Christian Cage. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. You have Charlotte?
Yeah, I have Charlotte.
Yeah, I think she's.
Death taxes and Charlotte Flair winning championships, especially when she comes back. Unfortunately,
thank you for having that last name, Daddy. Thank you. And she's also undefeated after coming off of divorces, isn't she?
I can't back that stat.
You might not
be wrong. You might not be wrong, but I can't back that.
I'm not gonna ask ChatGPT that one because I don't need that kind of heat. But I feel like I'm not wrong. Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Eat.
Okay.
Eat.
Yeah.
I love Gunther. If Jey Uso doesn't win this,
what do they do with Gunther after though?
Goldberg. That's because Goldberg already said he's winning. His last wrestling match will be in 2025. We're 4 months in, so we're getting.
But then it's also why would he wrestle? Well, Goldberg I know doesn't have the undefeated streak anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. They can make it a good enough story. Gunther would carry Goldberg to a main event match, is all I'll say. So give me Yeet Master. If he doesn't win, I mean, you might as well put him back in a tag team because he'll never reach that upper echelon ever again at this point. Because this is his last chance. Let's be honest with ourselves. Because you can't eat. Everyone will so fall far back on him. This is his last chance.
I agree with that statement. We've kind of seen this play out one too many times. If it doesn't go the way that people want it to go. Triple threat, Saturday night's main event: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. CM Punk will have Paul Heyman in his corner. Roman Reigns will not have his wise man for the first time in over a decade, and Seth Rollins feels like he's fighting for the future of the WWE and the future of this industry. Out of these three, who are you picking to stand tall?
I have CM Punk merch. I have a Roman Reigns merch. Seth Rollins will have the heel turn again of the century, and it's going to create this big bad again with him, Paul Heyman, possibly The Rock, maybe Cena, all over again. I want chaos. I want the stupid shit to happen. I want the madness of WrestleMania. I want it, and I want Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is an awesome good guy. He is 10 times better as a bad guy, and everybody knows it. Okay, so give me Seth Rollins. Give Seth Rollins on that trajectory of facing Jey Uso, possibly at SummerSlam and getting that championship off him, and then setting up Rollins and Punk versus Reigns and all that again at next year's WrestleMania, where it's going to be cinema, absolute cinema. So give me Seth Rollins with the heel turn.
I tend to agree with you now because of that situation where he gave Heyman reprieve. I didn't put you in the hospital, so now you owe me the favor. And then he also looked at Roman Reigns and said, your wise man is the slimiest of all. Like you feel like I have betrayed you. Look at who's in your corner. Look at the lives that guy's ruined, the people he never paid, the paychecks that bounced, all of those things.
It would be pure cinema with
look in your own house as I'm stealing your manager is like next level.
You can't have this match finish with Paul Heyman not picking a side, is all I'm going to say. It has to be either he's with Punk again, or he's loyal to Roman, or he changed everything and goes Seth Rollins. He has to pick a side. That's how this match ends, unfortunately. That's the only direction. We can't have the match end and be like, Paul Heyman's like, oh, I still like all three of you, and then moving on. No, that's not how this works.
Moving on to the matches for Sunday, Women's Tag Team Championships, Lyra Valkyria, also the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and Bayley versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
This is the most thrown together match on the whole entire card, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, all these girls are great workers, and they have great wrestlers. Lyra is one of the most exciting mid-card workers we've ever seen in a while. And obviously, Liv Morgan had a great year with her reign as champion, and obviously what she did with the World Heavyweight Championship and doing all that. And obviously, Raquel is a huge step in this. Bayley just got thrown in this to have a match on WrestleMania. It's going to be Liv and Raquel. Lyra and Bayley, it's going to be some tension in trying to build that mid card up. You can't have, I'm sorry, a two-time champion in Lyra Valkyria right now. Eventually, maybe down the line, but that's just defeating the purpose of the Intercontinental Championship. Is like, which one are you going to defend? Either the tag team is going to get defeated, or the Intercontinental Championship is going to be defeated. It's got to be one or the other, especially at the young ages of both championships. If this was obviously the tag team championships and the mid-card title with the men, which has obviously have been more around and more prestigious and had a lot more history, it makes sense. But the women, we're not there yet. You have to get a little bit more prestigiousness to each of those titles. So it's going to be Liv and Raquel.
I feel like they were trying to set up. They like Bayley as a heel. They like Bayley as a face. She can turn and give that Lyra girl a good series of matches for Backlash and whatever else is coming after WrestleMania. So I agree with you. I don't think that there's going to be a change there. Fatal 4-way for Intercontinental Championship: Braun, Penta, Dominic, and Finn. You going to stick with your dirty Dom, your slimy prediction? Ugh. Oh.
Nope. Dominic's Mysterio's walking away with their Intercontinental Championship. I bought in. I love Penta. I love Braun. But, oh, man, the pop of when Dom turns on Finn and maybe introduces a new member and he becomes Intercontinental Championship. Oh, dude, it's going to be fun. I think it's going. I can't wait to see all the matches, because imagine Braun trying to go after Dom as the Intercontinental Championship and Dominic using bad tactics to win matches and doing dirty things to win and cheat and steal.
They would have endless scenarios to put Dominic Mysterio.
You can do Penta versus with the two great luchadors and on Monday Night Raw. There's so many great things you could do. You could do El Grande Americano versus Dom. You could do Ray versus Dom as a champion. Oh, everything you could. It's
Ray versus Dom as a champion.
I mean, cinema, absolute cinema. Give me Dom walking away with the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, I'm gonna go with you don't beat the badass.
I love Braun Breaker. I have to say this because I obviously picked against him, but I love Braun Breaker. He's so much fun. I will be barking my ass off once he walks the ring.
I want them to do more of Braun Breaker Penta one-on-one series. So I want Braun to win, and I want Penta to, I guess, earn his way into another rematch in this situation. Maybe they both team up and take out the Judgment Day and things happen so that they go on and have another couple of matches. But I want to see that side more so than the other. AJ Styles, Logan Paul. Who do you got?
AJ Styles, Logan Paul. I mean, I'm sorry. AJ Styles, this may be one of his last WrestleManias. He said he was going to retire at age 50. He's age 48, by the way. I think 49. So
Damn, he looks good for 48.
He looks great. I'm giving AJ Styles. This is a throwaway match that obviously would help Logan Paul a lot to win. But frankly, it's AJ Styles' career, and frankly, you should just give it to him for the heck of it because he's the legend he is. So,
I don't know what Logan Paul thinks is going to do better for his TV show, more losing or winning, but whatever he feels like is what he's going to be suggesting. I haven't watched the new Keeping Up with Kardashian / Pauls that they put out there, but
I mean, I will never watch that show. So you tell me what's going on.
No, I've not watched it. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's got to be some sort of tie-in to that with what's going to happen on Sunday, obviously also with Prime. So he's more into it. Like, he's going to give a good match. I think that's something we know AJ Styles will give a good match, and Logan Paul's good enough to hang with him, and we'll see if maybe he's elevated a little bit. But
Logan Paul, like, look at his WrestleMania opponents: Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles. If he can't fucking figure it out in the ring after that 3-run stretch of WrestleMania opponents, I don't know if he'll ever be able to.
He's done pretty well in all of them.
He has. That's what I'm saying. But now we gotta build upon it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, maybe he makes Austin Theory. Maybe that's what's going to send A-Town down over the top. That'll be his next opponent after this. Sin City Street Fight: Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Drew's got to win. Drew wins. Drew. Give me the Drew chain.
They may take our land, but they may never take our freedom.
And I saw, so Drew posted a TikTok / Twitter video that I think is very important because I saw it. And I think it's important as well for anyone that is traveling to Vegas this weekend for WrestleMania and frankly this week. He put a video like do's and don'ts. 1, do not stand in the fucking airport and ask for autographs with 15 autographs. Okay, do not stay go up to the wrestlers' hotels and call them by their actual names. Do not be a dick to other fans and let them enjoy who they enjoy and be fans of who be fans. Do have fun. Do support indie wrestling. Do be respectful to everybody. This is why I love Drew, because he's doing all the right things. And like I said, those that didn't see the Kevin Owens interview with Chris Van Fleet, for love of God, don't be a dick. I'm a person at this point in my life. There's a few guys that I would love an autograph from. Nowadays, I would much rather take a picture with guys. Be like, you know what? It's awesome meeting you. Like when I met Pat McAfee last year at WrestleMania, I didn't ask for an autograph. I said, can I get a picture with you? He was like, absolutely. And he was excited to do that, right? If you meet someone, I remember when I was in 7th grade, maybe 8th grade, I was walking through the airport and I saw fucking George St. Pierre. And I took a picture with him. That's made my brother have a picture with him, right? Like, don't be a dick. Don't like that's what unfortunate side of sports and with professional basketball, football, hockey, wrestling as well as the same. It's like, don't be a dick. And if you have a little kid, right? Yes, you can get autographs. Absolutely. If you're a fucking grown ass man, take a picture with the guy, right? That's going to last you more than an autograph on a thing because it's a cooler experience getting to talk with people, have a conversation with them than it is opposed to trying to sell shit on the internet for no fucking reason. So don't be a dick if you're there.
I think that's a good sentiment just because there's going to be a ton of people. And there's going to be people in Vegas that have no idea that fucking WrestleMania is happening.
They are going to have a rude awakening is all I'll say.
Are you staying? Where are you staying?
I'm at the MGM again.
You're at the MGM again?
There, so,
yeah, I was going to say, if you're at the Luxor, because the Luxor is Allegiant Hotel, I was going to say, like, ooh. That will be an interesting. You're going to
It
see a
is.
lot.
I cannot wait to see the crowd because I saw the crowd in Philly, and obviously I stayed a little bit away from the stadium because it was a little bit nicer area. So I only realized what was going on at the WWE World, which I'll be going to again this year, which I'll get videos for the pod for everything. Don't worry. And obviously WrestleMania, the craziness around everything. But now every hotel will have a wrestling fan in it. That's just the nature of the strip and nature of wrestling because people have different types of whatever. So I will walk down the strip and I will see people dressed up like Randy Savage. I will see a person and people in luchador masks and not even blink
so
twice.
many pentas, so many Rey Mysterios.
People will not even blink, and I am so excited. I am ecstatic just to walk around and see all the craziness because people watching is one of my favorite things here to do at that event. Just sit there and just watch all the people walk by and the crazy different merch and the all different things, fun things going on. That's some of the best parts about it. So like I said, be respectful. If you see me, come say hi. I may be under a Penta mask. We'll see if I get my hands on one. But
here's the thing: I need a pre whatever event you're going to picture and a post because I feel like at a few of these there's going to be enough people there that will be able to tell a difference. Like, hi, this is you in your full Penta mask. This is Niko going into WWE World. This is me coming out of WWE World. I have no mask. I have an Austin Theory belt.
My poor mother has decided to come with me on this trip. She's not going to the event, but she'll go to WWE World and walk around with me. And I told her, I was like, look, I already want a belt. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I have a little bit of money saved up with the shout out doing my taxes. Hopefully everyone did their taxes. So I got a little bit of money from that. And I'm like, I kind of want a belt. I kind of want to pull the trigger on it. So if you see me walk around with a belt and have a belt behind me, you'll know where it came from is all I'll say. But that's the fun spectacle of the event. And like I said, I want to try to get my hands on a Penta mask is all I'll say. I am going to try. And that's all I'll say.
Moving forward, we have 2 matches left on the card. Triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Io, Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Who walks away with it? Does Belair keep her streak?
Yes, I'll go Bianca because I think the feuds after are what's setting up for that. And you can go Rhea then. Io can get that picture with the mid-card maybe, whatever. There's a lot more feuds with Bianca right now than Io, unfortunately. So I'll go Bianca.
That leaves the quest for 17. John Cena, does he get it done? Is Cody Rhodes going to be a 1-year champion and then have to climb his way back?
I really hope so. I really hope so. I remember watching WrestleMania 39 and seeing this whole buildup of Cody Rhodes being like, oh, he's finally going to do it. He's going to break the long championship streak of Roman Reigns. It's going to be a huge spectacle. And then it not happening and being like, damn. So this is setting up next year's WrestleMania then, isn't it? And I don't want that. I don't want this to set up SummerSlam. I don't want this WrestleMania to set up something down the future. This is the grandest daddy of them all in terms of wrestling. There is nothing bigger than WrestleMania. Nothing. 100,000 people, a couple 100,000 people will walk through those doors at Allegiant Stadium on Saturday and Sunday. Okay? Like, this is the grand day of them all. You have to pull the trigger on one of the biggest moments in wrestling history, and it'll be when he captures 17 and just building upon that. So I love Cody as much as the next guy. You have to set it up and let them cook. Let Triple H please let John Cena cook.
Let him cook is that'll be probably what a lot of people are thinking is going to happen. And I think Cody right now too is at a place where he can build himself back into a feud, or he can go off and finish a story with somebody else because that's what he's good at, is telling stories. I don't think he needs the title. I know that he likes having the title, but he can
still be the quarterback without the title.
Yeah.
Also, you still be the quarterback.
Cena did it a lot. Cena did it a lot with just going out there and calling Lita a slut every week. Yeah. If you know, you know. Back those early 2000s days were wild. Edge wasn't there for some reason. Lita was out there with half a shirt on, and Cena just took every pot shot possible. It was brutal, honestly.
That's true.
Let's get into our playoffs. I'm gonna go.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally, we made it. We finally got through the horrible regular season of the Denver Nuggets and the actually very up and down roller coaster of a regular season for the Avs. We're finally at the playoffs with both teams playing the same fucking day. God damn it. The one thing that I ask for is opposite days. But now we have both teams. Obviously, it helps us, so we don't have to record every fucking day. But like, it's just so annoying when it's always the same back-to-back days. I hope they're not on at the same time. I don't know what time the Avs start on Saturday. I know Nuggets are during the day, and I just pray they're not at the same time. Please do not be at the same time. Don't do that to us.
It'll be interesting to see when things shake out. First thing that I guess we'll talk about. Are you a fan of the division format, the way that the NHL
No,
does it, or do
fuck
you
no,
you'd rather see 1 through 8? So here's
hell
a fun experiment that I can do really quickly. Let's just decide. Let's go 1 through 8 for conference. That means that Washington, Toronto, everybody is still in the playoffs. That would have been in the playoffs anyways. Montreal and Columbus get left out because New Jersey gets the wild card spots. And then it's basically the same. So I really don't know what people are like. I get it.
You want to know why? Go back to the West. Show that again. Scroll in on the West because this is where it makes no sense. Okay, who are the top? So the two of the points wise, two of the three best teams, or 3 of the top 5 teams, will negate each other in the first 2 rounds. Vegas gets to walk through fucking Minnesota, who's on their last fucking leg, right? Winnipeg has to play St. Louis, which St. Louis may actually give them a run for the money because they're extremely hot. Oilers get to face the Kings in round 1, and that's that's the reward they get. Like it just makes it's just so annoying. I don't know. I think it's so annoying.
No, we would play the Kings in this. If it's 1 through 8, we would play the Kings. Dallas would play Edmonton, so we would just flip that one matchup.
So that's what I'm saying. I just like it just means nothing to win your division outside of a home playoffs. Like you should be able to face easier opponents. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
Bettman is not going to go away from it.
No, because the matchups are fucking stellar in the first round.
Yeah, no, all of these are going to be knockdown dragouts. I was listening to a couple other shows earlier today, and there's a lot of 7-game series predictions. So we'll start in the Western Conference with what we know is pretty much we pretty much know everything that's going to be happening. So Winnipeg as the number 1 seed, and it looks like President's Trophy winner. They did beat Washington for the President's Trophy. Will be taking on St. Louis. A little bit of a surge. It's strange. Last time that St. Louis won a Stanley Cup was when they had a coach that kind of took over and got them going from a position that they never thought possible, and they caught magic at the right time. Is this going to be the storyline this year, or does Winnipeg finally get out of the first round of the playoffs?
Man, if Winnipeg can't get over this hump, man, I feel so sorry. It's kind of funny because this is Bennington versus Hellebuck, which was the 4 nations, obviously U.S. versus Canada goalie matchup, right?
Yep.
And Bennington got the upper hand on Hellebuck in that obviously final game. I think that's a very, very fun storyline. Bennington obviously plays his best hockey when the pressure's on, and not during the regular season. So that's going to add another notch to it. St. Louis has been red hot. They have been red hot. And frankly, Winnipeg got to be shitting their pants to be like, fuck, if we can't win this, are we ever going to be able to get over the hump? Because, I mean, the President's Cup or President's Trophy curse is still very much alive. Very much alive. And frankly, I mean, I think I'll take Winnipeg in this series because I think they have the more experienced team now, and frankly, they're a little bit better than St. Louis, and St. Louis is more young and raw. But man, if I'm Winnipeg, and I just saw St. Louis win 11 of their last 15 games to end the season, I'd be like, fuck, this is a nightmare scenario. This is facing Colorado Avalanche again last year, being like, oh, we're a damn good team. We have the hometown series, and then you get absolutely shellacked. And are out before you're even back in. So I'll take Winnipeg. I think they get over the hump, but over the hump of 1 series, right?
It is only going to be. I mean, that's all that's as far as they need to go to make anything better than it has been for the last couple of years. That's just the reality of being a Winnipeg fan. I think that they need to win this series to make sure that they ensure they stay in Winnipeg, because they're always on talks about being moved, and they were formerly Atlanta.
They're the most recent team to move, so I would say that we're very obviously not expansion team, but team to move from Atlanta. So I don't think that they'll move again here anytime soon. But I mean, it is an expansion level team. So
you just got to keep people coming to the building, and if everybody knows you're going to do stellar in the regular season and shit the bed in the first round of the playoffs, people will stop coming. As much as people like hockey in Canada, they will stop coming.
And unfortunately, most people in Canada are not Jets fans. They're other teams' fans for a reason.
Yeah,
that's because, like I said, there's a reason. I mean, we're not going to talk about the Rockies.
Fun fact:
later, There's a reason why I'm jumping ship is because I've given up, and frankly, Winnipeg fans may give up and just find a different team as well.
You know who is from Manitoba? Since we just did 45 minutes on professional wrestling, Winnipeg.
There's a lot of Canadian wrestlers. I don't know.
I just made the list.
Oh, Jericho, yeah.
It's Jericho. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I have Winnipeg getting over this one because I truly hate the Blues with everything. Besides the Stars, I would love to see the Blues lose every hockey game of the season. If they could both go 0-82 and even lose the games that they play against each other.
The Avs are first round exit, you'd still be happy.
That would not bother me in the slightest. I'll just sit there like the bully from Simpsons. Vegas will be playing the Minnesota Wild. What the fuck is Vegas's thing? I know that they're Vegas, but why do they always got to be this lucky? Why do they always get the easy draws? Why do they always have the situations? Like, they're going to get people back. Everybody knows. And they're going to be able to circumvent things. It is what it is.
Breeding Wild Bill, Will Carlson back, I think helped this team a lot. Eichel still has been very, very good. Their question marks is still on the defense side. Obviously, they use Aiden Hill, who's I believe who's still the number one goaltender, but he's had a very, very hot up and down year. Minnesota. It's a swan song for Marc-Andre Fleury, which just sucks because he got to go in his last game more than likely the other night and win in overtime, which is fun. But like Minnesota is in cap hell more than anybody in the history of hockey the last couple of years, and frankly, it's a fucking miracle that they made it to the playoffs with as much shit that they've had to deal with. So Vegas should win this, I think, very easily. Vegas is still one of the best teams of hockey for a reason. They won the cup 2 years ago for a reason. They were in the conference finals the last couple of years. Like, it's Vegas should walk away with this, but
I think it's Vegas in 5 and could even be earlier than that. I just think that Minnesota is going to have one game that they give it all for Fleury and they push it to a gentleman's sweep. But I think that Vegas has way too much for the Wild to overcome. 2-3 matchup in the Central. Actually, let's go Pacific first because we'll save our boys for last. Edmonton taking on Los Angeles for the 58th year in a row.
These two teams are destined to be forever be etched in together because of Gretzky. It's crazy. They will forever be tied to the hip because of one man.
They should just call this the Gretzky divisional.
The Gretzky rivalry. That's it's not. It's because they face each other. Look, Edmonton will walk away with this. And the Kings have been very, very good. Very, very good.
This is the best Kings team in this 4-year span that they've played each other in the first round.
By far and away. But frankly, McDavid, Draisaitl has been an MVP level player this season. He's been so damn good. The problem with Edmonton, say it with me for the 5th year in a row, is what problem, Jimmy? Who the fuck's between the pipes?
Jeff Skinner.
It's still fucking Skinner. And I don't know why they thought that they could still run Skinner out there and still be a fucking threat to win the cup. And because they're a second round exit, in my opinion, if they have to make a move at goaltender. They have to. The Avs had better numbers with fucking Forgiev than Skinner has had this season, and they overhauled the entire goalie room in fucking 1 week. They said, "Fuck this, we're finding something else out, figuring something else out." And you have McDavid and Draisaitl. You say, "Yeah, I think we're good on defensively and good with Skinner between the pipes." That's what their thinking is. McDavid should be fucking pissed.
I don't think that he's very pleased with what's happening. You're going to have to carry us again. And nobody knows if Kane's going to play. Matthias Ekholm is not going to be there on the blue line. I think that this is the most vulnerable the Edmonton Oilers have been in this little stretch of games since they lost to the Avalanche in the conference finals during the Avs Cup run. I feel like this has been kind of the culmination, and they're not going to do as well as they have. They're not going to get as far as they have because they got a lot of injuries. They got a lot of hopes and dreams riding on 9-7 and 2-9. Like, you got more than 2 positions on the ice. You can invest some money in goaltender. You don't have to spend $85 billion. Like, you just signed over Tim Hortons. You signed over his entire life to Connor McDavid.
You basically did, and that's such a fucking weird situation to find yourself in. If I was, like I said, the greats of all time were all sitting there being like, why Why am I not winning cups? Why is this happening? Why Sakic was he so good for so long and the Avs were never get over the hump? Why was Forsberg not able to get over the hump? Why was the Devils without Brodeur before he got there not able to get over the hump? It's because of goaltending. If you don't have a goaltender that is consistently playing good hockey, you're not winning the cup. That's plain and simple. That's the end of the story. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, or no. Vasilevsky went with the Lightning, right? Kemper with us. Hill / Thompson with Vegas. Last year with fucking Bobrovsky. Like, if you have the hottest goalie, you will make it far in the playoffs. If you are playing Russian roulette with fucking finding out who was going to be in net and if we can trust the guy in net, and not have an oh shit feeling every time there's puck shit on net, then you're in trouble. That's all I'll say. Because as a hockey fan in the playoffs, seeing every shot that goes at the net, be like, please don't go in, please don't go in, please don't go in. And having that feeling is a sickening feeling, and a feeling that you'll have a short run in the playoffs then.
I think about the last 2 seasons with Forgiev. That was just, I hated every time that the puck. Don't shoot, please, for the love of God, stop shooting.
Please block the shot. Please block the shot.
Manson, you get back there and you play goaltender. I don't want him back there. Our 2-3 matchup in the Central is same as the second round matchup that we had last year with Dallas. The Stars will be the home team. This one will be very emotionally charged for a lot of reasons. None of the least to, I guess, like just putting it out there, elephant in the room, Niko Rantanen, Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche, will be playing in the Dallas Stars sweater. But I think that we should also bring into the positive energy, because I just listened to him on Chicklets as well. EJ, Eric Johnson, the Condor, is back in the Colorado Avalanche room. So there's the wait is over.
And I'm not letting you get past that. The way is fucking
captain, over. My captain.
Yeah, exactly. I was not letting you pass that without fucking letting you slide.
This is not a drill. He's back.
So the big question of this entire series is obviously if Landy, which looks like Landy will play, whether it be game 1 or 2 or first game back at home. The stories I'm hearing right now is he'll play game 3 at home, first game back in front of his fans, which I think makes sense because you got to feel it out the first 2 games a little bit and then go from there. I think it could be a huge boost game 3, especially if you split 1-1 in Dallas, have game 3 Landy back in the building and get a 2-1 lead and then try to go 3-1 and fucking finish them at home. That'd be the perfect segue into everything. But the question is obviously, is he ready? It's a very. I just listened to that podcast he had with the Spit Chicklets as well with Landy, and it's a mental task. It is a mental. Not necessarily physical anymore because he physically is probably ready to go. 100%. It is a mental task. It is a mental task of getting hit first, getting your leg run into. Right? What is that going to look like? Obviously, he had that stint with the Eagles for a couple of games, which he scored, and I think it was a huge help. Huge help. But we both know that playoff hockey is an entirely different animal. Entirely different. The physicality is lifted to an entirely different standard. The high-powered offenses, the high-powered defenses are entirely different. It is an entirely different world when you are playing a conditioning stint with the Eagles as opposed to playing a playoff hockey game against Dallas. It is entirely different. So that's my biggest worry. But frankly, having him available is enough to get me fucking rock hard, okay? I just having him on that 3rd or 4th line, maybe he only gets 10 minutes on the ice, 12 minutes on the ice, not as much as he would, but you ease him back in and seeing 92 flying around out there, I look, there's only 8 guys from that Cup team in 22 and still on this roster. It's not very many, okay? But if you don't think that these new guys that came in, the Nelsons of the world, Coyles of the world, aren't excited to see 92 back on the ice as well, you're losing your damn mind because they know that when he steps on the ice, he's a difference maker. He'll make other teams' lives hell. He'll be the captain out there. He will lead the team accordingly. We've been talking for 2 fucking years when is Landy going to come back, and we finally are going to fucking see it next week. It is beautiful.
He's going to be your Andrew Cogliano, Darren Helm, 3rd, 4th line veteran that is just like
a 3rd line of Charlie Coyle, Ross Colton, and Gabriel Landeskog. Well, get me up at night, okay? That's all I'm going to say.
Bring Wyatt Johnson's little ass here. Yeah. Bring it to that 3rd line. Please, I beg of you, please do that. And please bring Niko, try and have Niko carry the puck into the zone. Like, Here's the one thing that I'm nervous about, because I heard the Chicklets guys say this today too, and it makes sense. Jamie Benn's going to do something reckless.
Yeah.
And are we going to be able to respond? Are we going to have to respond? Like how we handle that moment when whatever happens. Because something it's like when
I remember the heartbreak of fucking Game 6 and Duchesne finishing us off last year. Yeah. And I'm almost positive majority of that locker room is the exact same way as me. Because I watched the highlight back and they showed the highlights of last year's playoffs on ESPN, and I was like, fuck, that Duchesne goal. That still hurts. I was like, that still fucking hurts from Game 6. That still stings to this day. And look, everything with Duchesne, imagine that times 100 of how much fucking edge you have to want to beat Mikko Rantanen. Because half these guys didn't play with, or majority of these guys didn't play with Nat Duchesne. Maybe only McKinnon.
Right now, only EJ, McKinnon, and Landy.
And that's it. Everyone on this roster that wasn't a midseason acquisition played with Rantanen. Played with him this season. This season played with him. So it's an entirely different animal. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, I'll be honest with you. I think the Western Conference is represented by one of these two teams. I frankly,
if they can hold up,
I think it's going to be Dallas or Colorado in the Cup final, and frankly, and this series is going to be one of the toughest ones because you go into that second round. If the Avs play Winnipeg, fuck, I think we can roll over them very easily. If we play fucking Vegas is limping in the playoffs. That will be a tough series. If Edmonton is somehow able to get past the Kings, I think we can go past the Kings. This is the toughest series you will have until you get to the Cup final, I think, in my opinion. And it's great that it's happening in round one because we're going to find out real quick whether this team can lift the cup again or not.
I think that it's a different scenario than we were talking about last year, too. And I want to give them a shout out because I appreciated them coming on short notice. But Sarcastic Remarks, we had them on. And I felt confident last season, but there was also I guess there were still question marks like Val and
that team did not have the depth of this roster. Not even close.
And even having Niko scoring, I think, 100 points and McKinnon – or no, Niko had 60 goals and McKinnon had 100 points. Like, that team, I had very little confidence.
It was a two-man head start. That's what it was. It was a two-man head start.
And now you got McKinnon, Nelson, Coyle, Landy, possibly, Colton, Lecky.
Not going to move with me. Hold on. Not going to move with me. Down the shoe skin. You'll have all those guys.
Hey, if he gets out of hand, you know where you're sending him. You're bunking with EJ.
You are rooming with EJ or you're rooming with Landy. No fucking options.
I don't give a shit if you don't want to listen to him talk about horses. You're listening to him talk about horses.
Exactly. You're sitting there and you'll stay up till fucking midnight with him talking about horses and watching fucking puppy documentaries and you will fucking like it.
No blow. Okay.
Or women for that matter.
Women weaken legs, Rock. Women weaken legs. Eastern Conference, the top seed.
I have the matchups here. I can give you the matchups, and I think the funnest matchup is the Battle of Florida right off the rip. It's Tampa versus Florida. It's red hot Vasilevsky. It's Vasilevsky. It's fucking Brad Marchand. Yes, Brad Marchand and the Florida Panthers playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. I never thought I'd ever say that. I don't think Boston fans ever thought I'd say that either. Matthew Tkachuk, it looks like he'll be back for round 2 if they get that far. So that's a big blow still to this team, but Florida is still an absolute rocket of a team. They're still an absolute rocket, fully healthy. And Bobrovsky is still playing his best hockey. And net, he can match Vasilevsky very, very easily. And Tampa Bay, as good as they are still defensively, as good as they are depth-wise still, they're older guys, their stars are getting older. And unfortunately, especially in hockey, like you need fresher, younger legs. And Tampa Bay is getting older as opposed to getting younger.
No, I think that right now, Tampa – if they were to win, that would be great for them. Florida's struggled the most from having the best on best back because all of their guys went as hard as they could, and it gave us what we wanted, and we got to talk about it. But that was also like your big-time guys that you're relying on. We'll see if they're able to bounce back. But with I think back to that Avalanche run, the reason why we were able to get to the Lightning in 6 is because they had 2 seasons where they were going to the finals and winning cups, but Florida's had back-to-back cup final runs too. Won one, lost one. How are you going to hold up to that? I don't know. Even if Kachuk comes back, how are you going to promise that he's going to stay there? I think Tampa actually might have the advantage with the rest that they've been able to get. So I'll go Tampa in that one.
I'll take Florida. Marshawn being in the fucking locker room and having 3 rats on the same fucking line is
Marshawn and Bennett should never, ever, ever.
Reinhart and Reinhart, Bennett, and Marshawn line is just disgusting for
They
hockey.
should be arrested every time they go out to the ice. Every time. They should just have state troopers. Woo! Nope. Can't do it.
It's disgusting.
That's assault, brother. Moving on, we have Washington and
either Montreal or Columbus is the last team, depending on how I believe
are there
today's
games
go.
Montreal is beating Carolina right now, and I don't see Columbus. Columbus doesn't have a game.
I have the other matchups we can talk about, so we can
Okay.
leave that one for last. Because frankly, I'm sorry, Columbus Blue Jackets fans and Montreal fans, Washington will win that first round. Okay, this is not a fucking getting over the hump kind of team. This is Washington with the brotherhood of bands making a dance winning the series. So I'll take Washington over Montreal or Columbus. Doesn't matter to me. I'm sorry. It's probably going to be a 5-game series in my opinion. That might be the biggest wash of the entire playoffs. The other series that I think is very intriguing the other two are very intriguing, but the one that we haven't had the Battle of Ontario in a while. We have not had the Battle of Ontario in a while. We get the Ottawa Senators back in the playoffs with Brady Tkachuk playing Toronto, playing fucking Maple Leafs. And boy, oh boy, if you don't think that Ottawa's ready for the playoffs, you're out of your damn mind. And they would love nothing more than to beat the Maple Leafs. Nothing more. And Toronto, this is a make or break year. You either are fucking on a run to the Cup final or everything's getting broken up. Because let's not beat around the bush here. Mitch Marner, the Toronto Maple Leafs had a deal in place with the Carolina Hurricanes to send Mikko Rantanen to the Toronto Maple Leafs. That is a fact. You want to know why it didn't go through? Because Mitch Marner had a no trade clause and said, "Fuck you, I'm not going to Carolina." That's the only reason why it didn't go through. And guess what? Mitch Marner is going to get paid this offseason. Paid. And you have to hope that Nylander and Austin Matthews can lead you, because this is the last time these core 3 will ever have a playoff run together. If you don't even make it to the conference finals, woo, baby, there's going to be a lot of tough decisions going on. You might need to reboot everything and just say, fuck it, we're going to start over from scratch again. Because if you lose to Ottawa in the first round, especially a team that hasn't been in playoffs in 10 years, 15 years, it's a disaster.
My prediction is that Canada is going to go from 4 teams possibly breaking the curse to only 2 after the first round. And I think it's going to be I actually think I picked
you had Winnipeg and you had Edmonton. Oh, yeah, the Kings.
Yeah. No, so I think that it's going to be Winnipeg, and I think it's going to be Toronto. I think that Toronto will get past Ottawa. I think Montreal will lose, but it's going to be Toronto into the second round. And the fact that they play the winner of Tampa Bay and Florida after they play each other is the best case scenario for them.
Yes.
And remember, it's not a 1-round playoff.
If they get over both of those humps, I don't see it. I think they'd be a favorite going up against Carolina or Washington going to the final.
I've played the Toronto Maple Leafs a few times in Chell as the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm just saying.
I like Austin Matthews a lot, all right? I want him to have success, but maybe not in Toronto. So maybe it is time for them to blow it up. So, I'll take Toronto, too. Frankly, Ottawa should be happy to be there. That's about it. The last one I have.
Yeah, the other 2-3 matchup, Carolina and New Jersey.
Carolina, they're a good hockey team still. Sakoven is a great player. Adding him to that team and, frankly, having him for the long term, I think is going to help this team a lot. He's a great player. He's going to be a first-line center, maybe a 2C for a long time, first-time winner for this team for a long time. And he's a great pickup. But to make the moves you made to try to go get – for giving up Natchez, Drury, and I believe it was a first and a second, right, was what they sent us for Ransom. To give all that up for what? A first and return of Stakeoven? That's a fail. That's a massive failure. Obviously, you had to get what you had to get from Mikko Rantanen, but – this team is not as good as it was earlier in the season, right? Natchez helped this team a lot. Drury helped this team a lot. Obviously, having that draft capital helped a lot. They're still a good hockey club. But New Jersey's just a fucking shit show too. New Jersey may have more problems to their team than Carolina.
No Jack Hughes.
Like no Jack Hughes. Like they have questions in the back end and in between the net. They're still struggling defensively to keep the pucks in the zone. Like it's Carolina should win this series, and especially since they have home ice at minimum, they should win at 7. Again, here we go again, winning at home ice only. But yeah, I'll take Carolina.
I think Carolina has everything to win and prove in this series. I think that they're still going to top out at a really tough second round series exit. I don't think that they're making a conference final. I don't think that they're making the Stanley Cup final. They didn't do for whatever reason, nobody wants to sign there. If they had Niko, I think that is one thing that they needed to possibly push into the conference final.
And not to spoil top 5, Raleigh, North Carolina is a nice city. Okay. Like North Carolina is beautiful this time of year. So it's not, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's all.
We will be talking about top 5 venue cities for sporting events and sports teams. So before we get into that, let's talk about the NBA playoffs, because the play-in's happening as we currently sit here live on Wednesday. Miami is pumping Chicago 93-80. There's 10 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter, so it looks like Miami is going to get themselves into the bracket. Chicago once again. Jerry Reinsdorf just loves to do it. Jerry Reinsdorf
has not been around for a while, but the Bulls have been an absolute fucking dumpster fire all season.
It's every single year with their fan base. They're the Geico guy with the reel and the dollar. Like, oh, look, we made the playoffs. Psych, we're going to lose in the first round of the play-in.
I mean, look, Chicago, they got to figure out their identity. Like they should have blown this team up long ago, but at least they got stuff for Levine. They got stuff for DeRozan. They got some stuff for Caruso. I think Giddey, all the memes you want about him, he's going to be very good. Kobe White is a real stud in this league. He's going to be fine. They should have traded Vucevic. They gotta fucking break it up and fucking figure it out. Go from there, because the Chicago's done. And Miami is almost always a lock to fucking be in the play-in because the culture, and doesn't matter because the East is so unbelievably ass that he will always be in the play-in at minimum. If there is a day that comes where the Miami Heat aren't in the play-in, that is the day I will be very, very surprised, is all I'm going to say. So, and look, Miami gets to play Atlanta now, who Atlanta got fucking shit wrecked by Orlando Magic. They got shit wrecked by the Orlando Magic, and Trae Young basically threw the ball at the referee, so he got a nice, nasty fine. So, look, Miami will be probably the 8th seed and make it with a 9 games back of actual 7 seed. It's actually a weird scenario, but they'll be the team in playoffs over Atlanta, in my opinion, over the 8th seed. But Cleveland is, man, shout out Cleveland, baby. Cleveland, this one's for you. This team may be the most fun team you ever had. And I'm even comparing this to the LeBron, Kevin Love, and Kyrie, because the expectations were so high with that team. The expectations were so high with LeBron, K-Love, and Kyrie. This team, frankly, are the fucking – I mean, I hate calling them the Bad News Bears because there's so much talent between Mobley, Mitchell, Garland, and company. But, like, Cleveland has a fucking wagon. They got a fucking wagon. And Kenny Atkinson, in his first year, has picked up what J.B. Bickerstaff did and just ran with it. Just absolutely ran with it. And like I said, we talked about the East all season long being like, this is Boston's lose. And then Cleveland just said, not yet. Not so fast. We're a damn good ball club too. My biggest question mark would be Cleveland is the inexperience. That is still the biggest question mark, as opposed to Boston, who has obviously a lot of experience. New York has experience. The Pacers were in the conference finals last year. You could be looking at them in the second round possibly, or first or second round possibly. So that's my biggest worry about that series. But Cleveland will run through Miami. I even if it's Atlanta for whatever reason, Cleveland will only maybe lose 1 game, and they will roll through in the next round.
I like that Cleveland is putting themselves together, and shout out our boys over at Ohio Sports Talk. Make sure you follow them. They go live every Monday. Jordan and Doug go out there, but they're excited that Cleveland is as good as they are.
They're good. They got a good roster, man. There's so much fun things to be excited for if you're a Cavaliers fan. Like, this feels like the Nuggets roster of 2022 before the Jamal Murray injury, where everyone was just healthy. The team was flying around. They were excited to watch. No one really knew how to guard all the different weapons they have. They're great defensively. man, Cleveland's got it all. So they're a team to be reckoned with in the East.
Let's go over to the Western Conference and let's address it because the bad thing happened. We said the quiet part out loud, and the bad thing did happen. The Denver Nuggets are going to be on the same side as the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I mean, we may have dodged 3 bullets, though, is all I'll say. We may have.
Is John Morant somewhere? Or is John Morant somewhere?
John Morant is in the second game of the play-in now because after they lost to Golden State. So Golden State will now have a destiny with the Houston Rockets. I mean, not to sugarcoat it, like obviously Malone gets fired. We talked about last week. I don't need to say much more after that because I said my 2 cents. Nuggets did go 3-0, right? They did go 3-0 after the firing. You beat Memphis, who was must-win game. You beat Houston, who played all their starters, by the way, on Sunday. And you beat who's the other team? I can't remember the third team. You went 3-0 to end the season with David Allen at the helm. Obviously, you would have loved to be a 3 seed to stay out of that situation. But if I look at this bracket, I mean, look, you look at this bracket, there's no easy fucking scenario. Let's also not sugarcoat this. Outside the 8th seed, which is probably going to be Memphis, which OKC will probably roll through them. I see a situation where Golden State beats Houston. I see a situation where Minnesota beats LA. I can see a situation where the Clippers beat the Nuggets. If you are not the Oklahoma City Thunder, that 2 through 4 all are on upset watch. All on upset watch. That's just how good the West is, right? There's 1 or 2 game difference between the fucking 3 seed and the fucking 8 seed in this conference. That is a crazy, crazy, crazy thing to have. And like I said, this is why the West is so far superior to the East, because the East has matchups where, frankly, I could care less about. Like pull up the Eastern bracket again. Like frankly, Boston should walk through Orlando. Cleveland should walk through whoever they have. New York, I feel like they should be able to beat Detroit. That's the big question mark. Milwaukee, Indiana, that's probably the best series out of the Eastern Conference, to be honest with you. The West is a fucking who's who of who's the contenders, because the Clippers are red hot. Kawhi is healthy. James Harden is back. That team fully healthy is a deadly team. Deadly team. Golden State with Jimmy Butler has won like 15 of their last 19 games. Okay? They are a deadly team. If you're the Houston Rockets, I wouldn't want to play them.
No.
And if you're the fucking Los Angeles Lakers and you are staring down Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert with your best big man being Jackson Hayes, oh boy. That's I mean, it's a who's who in the West. Right? There is a real scenario where I could seriously see the 5, 6, and 7 seeds in the West making the second round of the playoffs. I'm dead serious. That's a real possibility. That is a very real possibility because how much of a dog fight it is in the Western Conference as opposed to the Cupcakeville in the East.
No, I think that it's a fair point to make because the West for the last few years has been a lot better than the East. It's not like this is a new trend. This has been something that's been proven quite a bit over the last few years that we've been looking at the NBA playoffs here on this show. Any other things that you want to mention?
I'll give my last predictions real quick for each one, and I'll make it quick. I'll go about each one real quick because I think it's important just to throw these out there so people don't think I'm a mark and I'm not fucking soft and I actually don't pick these. Playoff matchups, this is what I have. So first round, Oklahoma City Thunder versus, I'll say Memphis for instance, because I think even if Dallas wins, by the way, Dallas, what a shit show that's already continued to be. Niko Harrison is having press conference where no cameras and no recording devices are allowed. By the way, they play tonight. As we're recording this, they played tonight in the play-in game with a chance to still make the playoffs. Interesting. Oklahoma City should sweep that series, frankly, 5 games at the smallest. 2 versus 7 in the West. I'll take Golden State. I love what Jimmy Butler has shown in the playoffs, and playoff Jimmy is different. And frankly, now I watched I didn't watch. I looked at the stats from Golden State's playing game last year as opposed to this year. Klay Thompson didn't have a bucket last year. Jimmy Butler dropped 34. Him and Klay together, it's a different animal. It is a different animal, and I think Houston is too raw, too young right now. And frankly, Jimmy Butler is going to one-on-one ISO Jalen Green all fucking game. Or if it's not Jalen Green, it's going to be Steph Curry doing that. And I think Golden State pulls off the upset there. 3 versus 6. I'm gonna go Minnesota with the upset. I don't know what in me feels it, but I feel like the Lakers are still missing that big man piece. Luka is obviously gonna do Luka things, and I think Minnesota has that little bit chip on their shoulder because they faced Luka in the conference finals last year with Dallas, and Luka put a dagger in their heart. So I think they're out for a little bit of blood. I have Minnesota beating the Lakers in round one, frankly, and I know a lot of people are saying the Lakers are going to dominate. Lakers dominate this. Lakers have three great pieces on the team, but that's it. Rui Hachimura is not going to be able to guard Rudy Gobert. Jackson Hayes is not going to be able to guard Rudy Gobert, right? As much shit as I want to give Rudy Gobert, I think Minnesota can win the series very easily because I think they match up very, very well. With Anthony Edwards possibly guarding LeBron, Jaden McDaniels on Luka, they match up great defensively against his team. Mike Conley on Reeves match up great defensively, so I have them. I'll do it for my sanity. I'll say Nuggets in 7 over the Clippers. I don't know.
Is Kawhi healthy?
Kawhi's healthy.
So that's going to be an interesting.
Scares the shit out of me. But I do think we can match up defensively. You put Christian Brown, should be in conversation for most improved player. Okay, for those that don't watch Nuggets basketball, Christian Brown, what he's done in the KCP role, he's frankly been better. The reason why we suck right now is because Christian Brown is no longer on our bench. I will stay on that fact. We're not missing KCP. We're missing Christian Brown off the bench right now. So I think we can get past the Clippers and get over that hump and try and possibly face OKC in the second round, which if we go 7 games with the Clippers, we could be walking into a fucking Lions den in Oklahoma City, which scares the hell out of me, which could be a bad scene. On the East, I had Cleveland over Miami. I already said that in 5 games. 2 versus 7. I will take Boston over Orlando. I think Boston's still one of the best teams in the East. Frankly, it should be Boston and Cleveland in the conference championship for a reason. They've been 2 of the best teams in the East. Frankly, 2 of the best teams in basketball outside of Oklahoma City as well. 3 versus 6, I will take New York. Detroit, it's a cool story that you made the playoffs. It's awesome. It's awesome that you're finally back in the playoffs. Cade Cunningham's exciting. Durant is exciting. You got a great team over there. It's not your year. New York will run through you. 4 versus 5, I will take – oh, you know what? I'll take Indiana here. I think Milwaukee without Dame still obviously has the things going on with him. I think Indiana can still make some noise. Miles Turner matches up really well against Giannis in terms of guarding him. Tyrese Halliburton is a great player. We saw great things from Benedict Matt Turin as well. I'll take Indiana in round 1 over Milwaukee.
I'm going to leave you to the predictions because you watched a lot more of it. Just know that I'm hoping that the Nuggets give us a lot of great stuff to talk about. Hope is not a strategy, but
exactly. But I am walking into this playoff similar to what I did to 2022, where I have high hopes for the Avs, right? High hopes, cup aspiration for the Avs. And Nuggets, it was right after the Jamal Murray injury and just seeing what the fuck happens. Just fire him alone. Let's just see what happens. If we lose, we lose. But Frank, I will continue saying this every single time Nuggets are in playoffs. And frankly, are in any game. When number 1-5 is on the floor, you always have a chance.
You do have a chance, and he might have to play 85 minutes like he used to against Portland. But you got a chance. Just keep feeding him the ball, brother. Just keep feeding me the ball. Let's go into our top 5. We got venues, and we went very different.
I know you said worldwide. I kept it in the States.
That's the thing. I'm a world geography.
We're getting a little bit of everything.
I'm interested whether or not how we both got here. Obviously, Las Vegas. I think you can host anything in Las Vegas, and anybody could have a ton of fun. We just had a bachelor party there. WrestleMania is going to be there. They have UFC events. That's where it was born out of. You can just go for fun. You can go to renew your vows.
I know we
didn't be on the beach.
I know we didn't talk about UFC a ton. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. Don't worry. But the UFC this last weekend was incredible. And it was so damn good. And UFC there in Vegas every single weekend. Like I would go to Vegas just for fucking 2 days to go to a UFC event. Like that's how great those events are and what Vegas brings. So I love that number 1.
My 2 is London because there's a ton of historic venues. Wembley had the Live Aid where they were playing the European feed back into the Americas. I think that London has hosted and maybe a little bit of I'm trying to boost our international numbers. London has a lot of great sites for football, and obviously Wembley has had an AEW event recently, but think back to like Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog and some retro old school WWF nerd shit. London has always been up there.
Premier League also is really exciting to watch. In London.
I am trying to get into the Premier League because I have a student who is from Mexico who loves to talk to me about Ronaldo versus Messi because he's a Ronaldo fan. So I just go the opposite because it gets him going.
You're on the right side. Okay, you're on the right side.
I'm on the short side is what I've been told. Why am I taking pot shots at Lionel Messi? Let's just get back on track. Number 3, Tokyo. I like this one because I've not been to Tokyo. I've been to China with playing in the international football competition, but we played Team Japan. And I will say, like, learning in school about the kamikaze pilots and the Bushido code and like samurais being willing to commit suicide before losing and being captured, you can hear about it. You think that you have an understanding. When we played Team Japan, it was like 65-14 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And those guys were killing me. Like they still had a chance of winning this game. Like they were firing off the ball. Like there was no quit. There was no give up. It was one of the coolest cultural experiences I've ever had. But also like listening to pro wrestlers talk about the events out there, it's so respectful. They're just watching and then they know when to clap. Like it's a totally different feel and a totally different vibe. Another one that I got.
So with Tokyo, I mean, the PLL goes to Tokyo every single year. It's amazing for a reason. Like the people over there are great. The growth of lacrosse has been awesome too. Like it's a beautiful, beautiful city. It is a bucket list for mine that I still want to go to.
I would love to go visit Japan and kind of immerse into the culture and see what things are like out there. Another one that I would really like to go just for the culture because of that tournament that I went to in China, Australia. Team Australia had a 4-hour pickup game of rugby in the courtyard of our dorm room, barefoot in the middle of a sand pit, and they were playing full tackle. But like those guys are willing to have a good time anywhere, doing anything. So like going to sporting events, yes, it could be a little bit more raucous, a little bit more rowdy, but I've seen tons of brawls break out here in the United States. So what's a brawl over in the Aussies? I would love to go see a rugby game out there in Australia. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
That would be so intense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My last one, I didn't specify in my text message, but I'm going to specify in my justification. Ancient Rome, not Rome now. Ancient Rome. I'm talking Colosseum, Gladiators, Commodus, Maximus, Lucius, all of it. I want that. I was talking about it with one of the other wrestling coaches this week. They used to really do, because I was a little bit frustrated with my wrestlers not going as hard as I want to in practice. It's like, so you think that they were brutal in ancient Rome, they would have the Tigers out there just to make sure fucking action happened. Like if these two guys wanted to say, oh, we call a truce, we're not actually going to fight that hard. Okay, let the lion off of his chain. We're at least going to give these people some entertainment. Ancient Rome has some of the best sports culture out there. I would love to see one of those spoof 30 for 30s, like the intro video of the one that they do for Rocky versus Drago. I'd like to see one of those for like the Coliseum. It was incredible. 180 nights in a row, games, murders, people being eaten by lions. It was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you're definitely into brutality and that sort of sense of things, that ancient Rome is perfect for that.
You gave me free reign to go with my brain, Niko. You know that.
I know I did. I know I kept all of mine in the States. I don't know why. I travel a lot in the United States, obviously. I haven't traveled out of the country in a while. So I travel a lot in the States, and these are the cities that I think are great for sporting events. Let me make that very clear. I specified sporting events because when I specify sporting events, you go to a sporting event, but what else am I going to do? Right? So if I go to a PLO weekend in Chicago, what am I going to do in Chicago, right? What else? That's what I think of sporting event destinations. So I go for the event. What else is around there? Obviously, number one, this is recency biased, but Augusta, Georgia is there. I mean, I seeing everything with the Masters and seeing how beautiful it is there, the green, the azaleas, the grass, the excitement of it, it felt like spring. Like I like to think that spring doesn't really start until after the Masters ends, or frankly around Easter time. And that's when spring really gets going, and we can see the beautiful colors and beautiful coming out. Augusta, Georgia, during this time of the year, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And whether, like, I saw something really cool come from Caitlin Clark, who was there, and she ran into Josh Allen, ran into Luke Combs, who obviously two guys, football player, country singer, at the Masters, and they talked to each other, and they went up and said hello, and they said, "This is crazy. is like I feel like a normal person. It's like there's no phones, there's no cameras. It's like the only thing you can do is come up and say hi.
Yeah.
Right? You can't take a picture, can't get an autograph, can't do things a certain way. You feel like a normal person, and that's the greatness of Augusta, Georgia, and frankly the Masters, and why it's still number one on my bucket list of sporting events that I want to go to. Number 2 through 5 are destination places. Let me make that very clear. Destination places that the things around it are why you go there. Number 2, Nashville, Tennessee. If you go to Nashville, Tennessee for a Predators game, a Titans game, a freaking Nashville Sound game, whatever, you will enjoy yourself. Because everything with country music and all those sporting events, the Grand Ole Opry,
Broadway girls
you will enjoy everything about the city when you go there for a sporting event. That's the best part about Nashville. If you're a country fan and you want to go to Nashville, you find a Titans game, even though they suck. You find a Predators game. You go to one of those games, you will enjoy the heck out of it. I still remember this day, my senior year DECA trip to Nashville, Tennessee, and going to the Predators game, seeing the city, seeing the Grand Ole Opry, walking down Bourbon Street, enjoying the whole city. It was absolutely incredible. If you want to just see a beautiful sports city with so much other stuff going on, outside Vegas, Nashville, Tennessee may be this number 2 option.
I think
right there. Right,
I would say Nashville's 2.
Yeah.
2 in my mind.
Number right up there. Number 3, Aspen, Colorado. For those that don't live under a fucking rock and have no idea what the hell is in Aspen, Colorado, the X Games is one of the best events in sports every single January. Right as football's in the playoffs, the X Games occurs in Aspen, Colorado. Aspen, Colorado holds a fucking X Games, which has the best snowboarders and skiers in the country, or in the world, coming to Aspen. You have the snow coming down. You have the concerts going on around. You have the beautiful city of Aspen. Aspen, Colorado, during the X Games, especially during the winter, or I can throw Vail in there too, anywhere in the mountains in Colorado during the winter, it is a must-see. Like, I hate the fact that I was only able to get only a half day up snowboarding this season, because being in the mountains during the winter, during the snow, during the beautiful time of the year, it's beautiful. It's awesome. It's so much fun.
We used to have it going to school out in the mountains. We would have rail jam where we would make a snowboarding course in the middle of our courtyard. Like, we had a big 15-degree slope that would go on for a few hundred yards. So you had a few rails that you threw out there, a Red Bull truck driving around, throwing it out to all the college kids that are watching their buddies try and do a double backflip. Do a gator.
In the mountains in Colorado, I'll even throw in the Rocky Mountains on the Utah side, even though it's the bad side of the Rocky Mountains. It's the best time of the year. It is the best time of the year. You have to go. Like I said, if you are looking for a destination to go to during the winter, come check out Vail. Come check out Aspen during New Year's, during Christmas Eve, during that time of the year, because it is the most beautiful, beautiful time of the year. Number 4, I just went there a couple months ago. I'm going to throw Orlando, Florida there. Orlando, Florida, the city may not be as good as some of the other cities. But in terms of going to see shit, when you're wanting to do other things outside of a sporting event, Orlando, Florida, baby, the number 1. Because if you want to go to Disney World, you can do that. If you want to go to Epcot, if you want to go to Epic Universe with Super Mario Land now, if you want to do all these different parks and these different exciting things, water parks, rides, all these other things, Orlando, Florida is the place to go. I hated my Pro Bowl experience. That was just the event. But I loved the weekend there because of all the other stuff I got to do. In Orlando, Florida, if you go to Orlando for a Magic game, for whatever fucking reason, for a kids sporting event, because they hold sporting events at the World Sports down at ESPN down there in Orlando, if you're there, you are going to have a great time with the family. Even an older person like me that loves to ride, I almost got scared shitless on the fucking Jurassic Park ride and the Velocicoaster, okay? I almost died, okay? For those that don't know the story, you can come talk to me about it in person. It was not fun, okay? But getting to see Disney World, getting to do these different rides, getting to now see Super Mario World and Epic Universe as well with Universal Studios. Orlando, Florida is frankly, if you've never been to Orlando, Florida in your life, you have not lived. I will say that. Like everyone should go see it once. You don't have to do Disney World every fucking year and have to do it consistently, but everyone should experience it once as a kid or as an adult with family or whatever, because it's the best. It is absolutely best. Beautiful weather, beautiful sights to see, beautiful parks, one of the best cities in the country. And 5, I threw in San Diego because I work for a team in San Diego, okay? If you're going to a PLO event in San Diego, what can I do outside of PLO event? Oh, You can go surf. You can go look at seals. You can go great white shark cage diving off the coast. You can go to a Padres game. You can go to so many different things and be right on the coast of California with San Diego. San Diego is one of the most beautiful cities. I will stand on that every single time I love going back there, especially now that I work for a team that obviously home base is there and we get to play there every single year. It's so exciting. So excited to be back. If you want to go to the freaking Comic-Con, that's there as well. Biggest Comic-Con convention ever. San Diego has everything you could ever want on a coast. Right? You don't have to go to LA. You're far enough from LA. You're far enough from San Francisco and Vegas and all that, where you're a little bit secluded, but you're close enough to everything where there's so much going on. San Diego is one of the best sports destination towns you will ever go to.
I like San Diego. I like Southern California area. It's a lot better. I'm going to say this very carefully because Carly's from Stockton, so that's a little bit more north and central. But I like Southern California. It would be where I would like to go out and visit. Player, play, and benchwarmer of the week. Let's start off with play. I'm not going to put them up on the screen because we did run into that little issue with copyright, and I feel like that might have something to do with it. So we'll just describe the play of the week that we have. I'm not going to put anything other than Rory winning the Masters. I feel like that was the play of the weekend. In all honesty, I don't know if you had something else. What did you?
Oh, I got something else. And for those that didn't see, Patty the Batty put his knee through Michael Chandler's cheek. You gotta look this up because Patty the Batty was a pretty big underdog going to this. A 10th ranked guy facing a former Bellator world champion, a guy that's been on top of the card for a long time. Patty the Batty walked into UFC 314, I believe, maybe 15.
Yeah, 314.
314 this weekend and put his knee straight through Michael Chandler's cheek. And I mean straight through it. Like blood was gushing right away. I was watching with my girl, and she was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" I was like, "Wait till you watch this replay of this flying knee straight to the cheekbone." It busted it wide open, and it was very short lived after that. And Patty just finished the fight. Patty the Batty is real, for real, and this may be our one saving grace to beat Makhachev. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. It's a little too soon for that, but we need somebody to beat these Dagestani wrestlers, and maybe Patty the Batty is the next guy. So it was an exciting fight. I had so much fun with it. Obviously, shout out Volkanovski too. Bringing the title back to Australia. He's always so much fun to watch too. So that was
Volk had a good one. My play of the week was Rory's the tournament championship winning shot, Grand Slam winner. Player of the week, I have our captain. A beautiful one has returned. The Swedish missile, Gabriel Landeskog. First game back since 2022. He did get 2 points in his second game. He had a goal and an assist, and his goal was a classic Landeskog stand in front of the net and just happened to tip the puck before it goes in goal, which makes me so excited. Like if we can get, I'm trying not to, and I'm knocking on wood because I want him to be more involved than this. But do you remember when Stamkos came back that first Tampa Bay run where they got the cup? Yeah, I feel like that's similar. Obviously, that had more of a COVID situation around it, but Landy being back, I'm just glad that I get to talk about it. And I have kids in my class that we've been sitting there for 2 years. Like, if only Landeskog could play.
We won in 2022, 3 years now.
If only I know, but I've only been a teacher since 2 years since then. If only Landeskog could play.
It's not an if anymore. It's a when. It's not an if anymore. It's a win. That's the most exciting thing about Landy. I remember when Kale first stepped on the ice for the Avs and the electricity he brought into that building back in 2019 playoffs and being there for that, him scoring his first goal and the whole building just erupting. It's going to be very similar when Gabe steps foot on the ice. And it's going to be so exciting. My player of the week is Rory. Sixth golfer to ever complete the career Grand Slam. Won first ever Masters tourney, first golfer ever to win a tourney while shooting 6 double bogeys. 6 double bogeys. That means you basically were in the rough multiple times and got stuck and got yourself out of the hole and still was able to win the golf tournament. Shout out Rory, well deserved.
What was it? 3 birdies, 4 bogeys, and 6 double bogeys?
Insane. But he still won. He found a way.
All you got to do is get that one last one in the hole. Just make sure. Whack it into the fucking hole. Benchwarmer of the week. Who do you got? Who do you got, buddy?
I had to throw in some UFC. I watched a lot of UFC Saturday night, and Bryce Mitchell, the fucking bitch he is, the guy. Look, I'm not going to get political here, but the motherfucker basically said, "I would love to have a beer with Hitler." That's something, and I quote something Bryce Mitchell said.
Yeah,
that's and I quote something he said.
that's
One of the most despicable humans in human history, and he said, "I would love to do that." And the motherfucker got his ass choked out and passed out laid on the ground. I wanted to make sure I put the picture of John Silva. I don't know how to say it. It's fucking Brazilian. Who knows? Gene Silva staring over him, barking at him for a little bitch he is. So, yeah, I love seeing that. And it couldn't have happened to a worse guy. So I'm so happy that he got his little bitch ass choked out. He was getting his ass kicked, too. All he could land was leg kicks. So, hey, might as well start getting on some more podcasts, Bryce Mitchell, because your UFC careers are down the fucking
I mean, he's going to get another fight because people are going to want to see him get his ass kicked with all the shit that he's.
It's the same thing that we love seeing Greg Hardy get his ass kicked every time he steps into the UFC ring. It was like, fuck yeah, I kicked.
And if I was Dana, I'd start putting him up weight classes. Like, you can go fight Izzy.
You can go fight somebody.
Go fight Pereira.
Go fight Usman. Get your ass kicked, thrown into the fucking third level. Please do. It was beautiful watching Gene Silva choke his ass out.
Here's what I say to make sure I drive the point home of how bad of a person Hitler is, just for those of you that don't have an awareness of it, because I have to teach it to 12 and 13-year-olds, which it's difficult because it happened a very long time ago, and they're like, well, how bad could he really be? And they're on social media, so they see like the deniers and the people that say, like Kanye. Unfortunately, Kanye's had a lot of the same similar statements that he's been making. Prior to Hitler committing suicide in his bunker with Eva Braun, he had to test the cyanide capsule in order to make sure that it was going to work. You know what he tested it on, Niko? His prized German Shepherd. Like, he was such an ego and megalomaniac that he had to make sure he tested his poison for himself.
Yeah, obviously that's not the worst thing he did.
No, that's not the worst thing that he did. But I'm like, in the worst moment of his life, this is when the Allies are storming down on the bunker. Like, if he doesn't do this, if he doesn't kill himself now, the Allies are going to get to him and they're going to capture him. He's like, wait a second. Let me give this. I need to kill my dog because what good is my dog without me?
And Bryce Mitchell straight up said, and you can look it up. I'm not bullshitting anybody that's listening to the show. If you have no idea, lived under a rock, who Bryce Mitchell is. He said, and I quote, "I'd love to have a beer with Hitler." So I loved every second of his ass getting choked out and laying there unconscious.
Fuck that guy. I can't stand people that are in a position of influence because I know how hard it is to get bad influences away from young kids. And that's a guy that should not have any kind of platform to speak to anybody, let alone impressionable kids on the internet. Our Rockies, Niko.
Hold on, stop. I'm not a Rockies fan anymore. I've already declared this. And you're a Yankees fan. We're gone. Now our Rockies
Okay, then as a Yankees fan, I'm obliged to tell you that Aaron Judge right now has more RBIs than the Rockies have scored runs.
And the Rockies, that series where they didn't score a single run, they're against my Padres. Go Dads. I am bought into the Padres. I'm sorry. I know. Call me a bandwagon. Go ahead. The Rockies are the worst known franchise to ever step foot in a baseball field. 30 straight innings without a run.
Yeah.
30. You have to try hard to be that bad.
Apparently not that hard. No, they were like, let's watch Major League and make it look kind of like that. And they're like, oh shit, we're too good. No, we're too good at this. We're too good at this. Go back.
What's their record? 3-13, something like that. Like, no, it's really horrendous.
I think they're on track to lose 140 games.
I know. Why shoot for 100 losses when you can shoot for 120? Right? It's a way too easy of a goal to go.
Why break the record when you can own the record?
Own the record, yeah.
And it will never go.
The best part. So I saw Ryan Spilborghs, who was obviously on that Rockies team, the Rocktober team, and he's announced for the Rockies, and like he was talking about that series where they didn't score a run right before obviously the Dodgers series that's currently ongoing, and was like, there's a real possibility that the Rockies come home for the second time in their homestand 3-15. With scoring 1.5 goals per game, or sorry, not goals, runs per game.
6-30. 6-30 through a fifth of your season.
Oh, hold on. This makes it better. Do you want to know the other fun fact? Guess who went to the IR today, or the IL, or whatever the fuck it's called?
Chris Bryant.
There we go! Ding, 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 ding! We got a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Come on down!
The Iron Man himself, Chris Bryant. Did he sleep on a bad mattress again?
Name a worse decision in Colorado sports history. I think that's worse than Russ. I think it's worse than seriously.
Sending Nolan and paying half of his salary.
I don't know. Chris Bryant may have been worse because at least we got something back for that, even though it wasn't much. It wasn't much. I don't think there was worse. Russ looks like a fucking miracle to the Broncos compared to what Chris Bryant's done to the Rockies. If people actually cared about the Rockies and they actually gave something to care about, we would care a lot more about this Chris Bryant debacle and how much we're paying him to not play.
No,
but no one cares.
It's so bad. The Rockies are so bad that the Nuggets fired their GM and head coach 4 days before the playoffs started, and that owner is not the worst owner in the state.
The Nuggets fired their coach 3 games before the season ended. The Avalanche have basically 5 guys that were on their roster opening day of the NHL season going into the playoffs. And both teams are in a better situation than the Rockies.
They're both getting ready for playoff runs as the Rockies are staring down the barrel of 140 fucking losses.
Oh, it's so bad.
I hope it happens. I'll throw a parade. I'll throw a damn parade on this show.
I kind of do too. And you want to know the even worse fact, Jimmy? We can't even tank. Because baseball has a rule where you can't pick in the top 5 back-to-back years.
Well,
I saw that. I was like, oh my God. So tanking won't even do anything for us.
We already have the number 1 prospect. We got him last year.
We don't. No, we don't. Because don't worry, they'll play for the Dodgers in 3 years anyways. Zach Veen, it's so cool. You'll here, you'll be a Dodger in 3 years. Chase Dolander, you're doing so good. You'll be Yankee in 5 years. Why do I even care?
I don't know why we care. We shouldn't.
That's why we're new. I'm a fan of a new team. I'm sorry. I hate to be a bandwagon, but
I changed teams during the NFL season this year, so I guess I can't. I was gonna talk shit, but I can't talk shit anymore. So
and the Bengals still had a chance at this thing. The Rockies have 0 fucking chance.
That's true. I've been a Bengals fan for a very long time. I've never gone through a Bengals season as embarrassing as the Rocky seasons have.
Exactly. It doesn't get worse. It literally doesn't.
It's just embarrassing as a whole. Like, just think about the franchise. They've been around since 1993 and have never won a division title. They've been to one World Series.
30
one
years.
World Series as a wild card team. And oh, by the way, you got that wild card spot on a extra 163rd game of that season in extra innings. With Matt Holliday sliding in on his chin.
And probably not touching home plate also, which is still a funny thing to think about.
That's your history. That's the greatest moment in your franchise. It's the luckiest shit that's ever happened, and it doesn't even happen anymore.
It will never happen again. It will never happen again. I'm serious when I say this. We're in jeopardy of losing our baseball team.
Dude, I would gladly send them away.
We are in jeopardy. I would
pick up a second. I would pick up a UFL team in hopes of getting rid of the baseball team.
When basketball's dead, hockey's dead, PLL season's all-star break, whatever. I would love to have Christian talk about the Rockies and seriously hear what his thoughts are on whether this team is going to be around for the long run. I would like because look, I hate to be the burden of bad news, but he works for DNVR, who has a sister company in PHNX in Phoenix. They lost the team. Coyotes. It's not that uncommon with us teams that don't have fucking anything to play for. Okay, the Athletics are getting moved to Vegas if they are. Who knows if they are? Maybe they're Sacramento from now on. We're that close. The only reason why, man. I love Coors Field. I'll never tell people to not show up to Coors Field, but you got to stop giving this team money.
Well, I mean, they did stop. The opener was not sold out.
It was horrible.
The opener was not sold out, and it was also bad weather. I feel like the gods are also pissed off. The Monfarts can't continue. You can't keep getting away with this.
Knowing the Monfarts, what they'll do is they'll try to build a new stadium with an indoor facility and try to make it so that
we're going to humidify it.
Exactly. I don't know. That's my thought because the dumb mistakes they'll continue to do.
I played baseball for 13 years in Colorado, and yes, it was youth baseball, but I never gave up a home run over the fence because I never thought about the fact that I was playing in Colorado. If you don't think about it, it won't happen.
It's obviously different.
Yeah, no, I get it. But here's the thing. It'll happen. But if you say that it's going to happen every time that you leave a ball up, then it will.
But here, joke's on you. You are also hitting at altitude, and you score 0 runs. You can't score a fucking run in series.
Oh, shit.
That's the funny part.
Did we forget?
I understand.
There's something back here.
I understand.
We forgot the offense. We forgot to bring the offense.
I understand that we didn't score a game that series on the road in San Diego, so that's different. But, like, if your offense isn't going at home and there's this advantage people want to talk about, what's the fucking point of having a baseball team? The Nuggets for years used the fucking up and down offense because people got tired. The Avalanche still use the up and down the ice to get people tired. The Broncos, with the Tim Tebow days, pay mayonnaise, no huddle, get people on line, get them tired. They have oxygen mask on the sideline. The Rockies have this fucking fantastic thing called no oxygen, and they can hit the ball farther, or they're not using it.
I don't want any home run hitters in my lineup. I want all bunt guys and base hits.
I seriously don't think there's a home run hitter on this lineup besides McMahon, maybe. That I seriously look at this roster, I'm like, who are these? It's the old Patrick Star meme. Who are these people? Like, okay, like, what am I looking at?
You remember those nights where it was Cargo coming up in the bottom of the ninth?
Oh, my God.
Needed to score 7 runs to get tacos at Taco Bell.
Tulo's in front of him, getting on base. Cargo's hitting a grand slam.
We want tacos.
Like,
we want taco. And every time he came up, he hit a goddamn home run because it's Colorado and you can.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, we decided to build a roster that can't score runs and we're relying on our pitching. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't. I gotta stop saying we. I gotta stop saying we because I'm not associated with the same.
Bold strategy. Let's see. If
you're a Yankees fan. I'm a Padres fan. That's it. Okay. Oh my God. This is. So bad.
I think that's a big, long, packed, juicy episode for the people. Very excited that we got that done. Lot of WrestleMania Masters. Playoff content as always. Make sure you follow the new feed. We're over on the Podbean hosting platform now instead of our former host. You can still catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Apple Music, all of those things. We are out there everywhere. Just got to search Far End of the Bench. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us at FEOTB Pod. Tell a friend to check out the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because that has not changed. There is no change for the YouTube channel. Playoff live streams coming in hot. Playoffs start on Saturday.
I mean, obviously we won't. I'll be in Vegas, so I won't be able to live stream Saturday's games. But we'll try to get things going beginning of the week and get those live streams after the game. So don't look out for that.
We'll figure it out, and I'll try and figure out a way to make sure that I got something coming out for this weekend with all the playoffs getting started. But for myself, Jimmy Pilato, my co-host Niko Bryant, episode 227 of the Far End of the Bench podcast. Yeet.
Yeet. Peace.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.